Welcome back, everyone, to another session of Crituitous RP. Now, before we begin, as per usual, some quick announcements and some reminders. So, if you enjoy our characters and watching them once a week just isn't enough for you, then you can read along to their in-character roleplay chat during the week by supporting this channel over on our Patreon site. You can catch up on previous Campfire RP over on our blog at crituitousrp.tumblr.com. That link will be in the chat and the description. And if you want to see the RP as it happens, become a patron. Support us, help us to keep this channel running. That link, patreon.com/Teervanth, is also in the chat or description, however we do. Now, we are at Crituitous RP on Twitter. If you want to stay up to date on our latest developments or just get the occasional funny little GIF, then follow us there. Link will also be in the places that links get put. Before we start, we would like to welcome our new followers from this past week. Thank you to everyone that does regularly and still follow us, but we would like to call out special mention to Melif89, Dr. Roxos Revenge, and Big Giant Chaos. Thank you very much, guys, for following us. We appreciate you doing so. Now, lastly, stick around for the break today, as once again we will be holding another Who's That Monster. And remember, watch our previous sessions, as they tend to have some clue concerning which monster will appear in the following week. So, without further ado, previously on Crituitous RP. Our group of adventurers, charging through the jungles of Chult, had one goal in mind as of right now: to uncover the secrets and the mystery of this red wizard Sandir. They need to find out why he was murdered, mostly because the devil-looking character that travels with them is very intent on finding out the answers to these secrets. But also because, just out of curiosity, this man paid Zola and her family heavily to get him to Baldur's Gate quickly, and within an hour of doing so, he gets murdered on the streets of Baldur's Gate. So, following clues, following the leads, they've found a lead that seems to suggest that they need to go to the city of Mesro to encounter more and learn more about the Red Wizards. Now, as far as everyone knows, in Chult, the city of Mesro is just dead. It was lost during the spell plague, it was overrun with undead, and it's not inhabited anymore. At least not by anything worth communicating with. To help them navigate the jungles, they went up to Fort Belawarian, where they would collect Zola's stepbrother, or stepbrother, adoptive brother. And he apparently is some great explorer, an expedition guide, and he would guide the adventurers wherever they needed to go. So they went to Fort Belawarian to pick up Shago. Unfortunately, they left a bad impression on the leader of the individuals, the Flaming Fist mercenary band in Fort Belawarian, and left rather hastily with their guide in tow. Last week, we ended the session shortly after our heroes picked up a new party member, a tiny little Compsognathus. A tiny little compy joined the group. We rejoined the adventure there in the heart of the jungle. So, the next morning, after Shargo has given the compy to Zola, he steps up to Zola, takes her off to one side privately. Everyone would notice this? Would anyone care to try to eavesdrop or just let them have a moment to themselves? Carmen would try to eavesdrop.
Of course you would, Carmen.
So, Carmen, if you're trying to do it sneakily, I'm going to need a stealth check from you.
Troll.
First roll.
No. That's the second time you
Zola.
That's so bad. My rolls.
Zola doesn't even need to think to perceive you. She knows, hang on a minute, turn around. Yep, Carmen's behind. Just expected it to happen. So, with a look.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Lovely day.
Yep.
I'll leave you to it. Sorry.
Thanks.
Thank you. So, privately, off to one side. So, Zola, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. I got a wonderful night's sleep. How about you?
I slept well. It was good. I'm glad you are bonding well with the compy.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's so easy. It seems like it might have been trained before, but I know that's not true. Maybe he's just smart.
Could be. I have a bit of a problem.
Okay.
I seem to have lost something. And I'm struggling to find it, hence it is lost. You know that I regularly send reports to our mother. I do so by use of a sending ring that she gave me a very long time ago when she first sent me on the task to help spy on the Flaming Fist for her. It's been a few days, but I didn't notice it till yesterday, during the fight with the goblins. I seem to have lost it.
No, you didn't. It's all right. I have it. We need to talk a little bit.
Why do you have my ring?
Your pin gave you away. But I want you to know that I haven't jumped to any conclusions or anything. I've just stuck to what I know, and that is that we sent you out there a long time ago, and we hadn't received any kind of relevant information back about what we were seeking. Since you have the pin, it seems like you have discovered something, but you reserved talking to Xanthi about it. I don't know why, but I wanted to give you a chance before informing her that what we think is happening there. So I'd like to hear your side of the story because, we're family. I'm not going to... You are the mission.
I understand your concern, and thank you for giving me a moment to be able to explain things. I wish you didn't have to steal from me to be able to create this situation.
Borrow.
Yes. It is quite simple. My task by our mother was to spy on these individuals and find out their behavior. Yes, I did confirm that these are Flaming Fist mercenaries, but it has been difficult to find all of the actions that they do without getting into character, as it were. So that is all that I am doing. I'm just getting really into, like the spies do and all that.
Trying to be me. That's adorable.
Well, we can't all be great expedition experts. We can't all be great spies.
Valid. That's valid. I'm going to kind of look into his eyes and see if what he's telling me is true or if he's attempting to hide everything.
Roll an insight check. You have incited him before, so it helps to have seen previously that he does have a affinity towards the leader of the Flaming Fist in Fort Belawarian. But it seems that, well, that kind of makes sense, For now, it seems that he's telling you the truth.
You're my brother, and it's your life, and I will support you in any and all of your endeavors, even if I don't know the whole truth about anything. But know that I am here for you. If you ever find yourself in trouble or with strangers in a strange land and you need help, let me know. I will be there for you.
Okay. And know that I will happily kill anyone who hurts you. Okay.
Thank you. I
And
trust you on that.
he looks over to the red horned one. Are you sure about him?
No, I'm trying to figure it out. Actively. I did notice, however, he really doesn't like touching. So I'm just going to keep touching him. See. Yeah, you know.
Good. Okay, let us keep going. It is a beautiful day.
Do you mind if I keep the ring? Because I think that I might be the one to use it if I'm going to continue my job as scout.
Yes. Sure.
In case something
Just
happens.
regularly let Mother know that I am okay.
Definitely. Yeah, that's what I have been doing.
Even if I'm not okay. Please let her know.
Sure, no pressure. I don't know. She's pretty good at telling through my voice whether or not I'm lying. But can I tell her about the thing about the Baldur's Gate flags and the pirates? Because that's some relevant information they might want to know immediately for business reasons.
The problem that I would have is what Mother would do with that information. If all of a sudden Mother's ships seem to not be affected by the pirates, or if suddenly everyone knows in Port Nyanzaru that Xanthi found out the secret to
She
this.
wouldn't go tell the entire town or anything. She's very subtle about things. You know that. I don't know what she'd do with the information, but it wouldn't be obvious like that. Come on. How long have you been gone for?
I trust my mother, but it's difficult to trust everyone in the city. Who knows who she feels trusting and shares it with. So I cannot stop you from telling her. But please know that there is a chance that if you tell our mother that it'll if Liara finds out, then she will know to blame me.
It sounds to me a little bit like maybe you don't trust Xanthi. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong, but also it's not as clear as that. I trust people's understanding. Xanthi does not have the same understanding of the situation that I do. She does not know how dangerous it is to be pretending to be one of them.
Well, do consider this, please. That is, we are on a very, very dangerous mission, going to a place where it is completely overrun by dead things, and we know this. And there's a chance that we might not come back from it. We may want to enlighten her before we get to the really dangerous spots about all the things that you have found out, in the case that, our mission ends.
Okay. I leave it with you to choose when is the right time to tell her.
Okay. All right.
The sooner we tell her, the more time people have to let secrets leak out.
I understand. Okay.
Good.
I'm glad we talked
What's all
about
this? We will get back. We will survive.
Okay, sure. I just won't be surprised if something does happen. Okay, let's go back.
So
And
a little
give him
bit
hug.
sad with the situation. Okay, he heads back. Let's go, everyone. Let's head out further into the jungle, unless there is anything else that people would like to do on this day.
I have some questions that Averine might be asking folks.
Okay.
As we walk, and some of them are about the ghouls and stuff. So that would perhaps.
Did you go silent?
My headset just dropped out for a second. I'm back.
Okay, good.
I was gonna say, because Matt's not here, and we're heading to Mesro following his character's clue,
Mhm.
that maybe doing the ghouly thing might be good, and therefore Averine would start asking questions to Shago about the ghouls. So,
Okay.
Shago, that that portier lady, she said that we could earn money by killing these ghoulies and bringing back their heads. Is this a
Yes.
is this a recent problem? I can't imagine that ghouls are in infinite supply in the jungles of Chult.
It. They have been in the jungles for a while, but it has only been recent that they have been in high enough quantity to start causing us problems. We have lost a few too many expeditions recently because of the ghouls, and so now we are taking action against them. Previously, we never thought to do so.
Do you know what it is that creates the ghouls? Perhaps getting it at the source would be advisable. Or does Avery know how ghouls are created? I don't know.
Roll a history check to see what you know about ghouls.
Or does Volo know how ghouls are created?
You can check Volo's guide. Let me check my notes.
Greco may know also, just since he's
Because
a
they're from
cleric
the
that hates the
abyss.
undead.
Yep. Okay. So go ahead and roll a history check as well.
Will they roll history or religion?
Religion. You'd see it from a different angle than anyone else. Okay. About a second. Okay. So your understanding of ghouls is primarily they are. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. The original ghouls were elves turned into these monsters. Nowadays, it is typically spread by creatures that are lost, alone, and resort to cannibalism to survive. Doing it too much, they begin to lose their humanity. Being in close proximity of other ghouls speeds this process along. So if you find yourself trapped in a place with ghouls all around you, and to survive you start shifting towards cannibalism, your turn to ghoul becomes a lot more quicker. So while I don't think ghouls reproduce or infect humanoids to become ghouls, their presence tends to encourage more ghouls to become a problem. So there's no one source unless you were to find the hub of ghouls and remove them.
And so does Shago know that a hub of ghouls exists?
I do not know if a hub is around here. I'm not one for hunting the undead. I struggle with that. I can find you any beast. I can find you throughout the jungle, but I struggle when it comes to the undead.
Greco will presumably have observed that this was a conversation and started, and will just approach to kind of assist. It is my understanding that the blessings of Kelemvor grant me a greater ability to detect the presence of undead around me. If we dive or delve into the depths of the jungle and we find ourselves near ghouls and other undead creatures, occasionally Kalimvor will give me such awareness so we can know that we're heading in the right direction. So as we go deeper, keep an eye on me, and I can keep an eye out for us.
Which point Shago pats you on the back. Aha! See, we will be fine. We have our own ghoul hunter.
Yes, something like that. A ghoul hunter. Yes.
So, Shago, the lady, the portier lady,
Yes.
she said that she'd give us 20 gold pieces per head.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could acquire many heads. Do you think she's good for it?
Oh, I think she is good for it. She has plenty of gold, and she always keeps to her word.
So, you also said that your fort is paying pirates to not attack them.
Just like anyone would pay protection to certain groups of individuals in larger cities. It works the same way.
Yet, when I was there, I saw all sorts of ostentation, that everyone was very well off. It didn't look like you were hurting for money.
No, we are not. Hence why the protection that we pay for, with the increased wealth that Fort Belowarian has from all of the fines, we become a bigger target. We need to protect ourselves.
It's not a very good look, don't you think? That there are pirates plundering and you are prospering during this. It could look like a reasonable observer could conclude that you guys are in cahoots.
Yeah, but no matter how many times people look, they never find any stolen goods in our fort. Our riches and gold was always claimed legally.
So when you pay the pirates come to the fort, or do you go to see the pirates? Do you know these things?
We have Liara sends a tribute. That is all. A ship goes out to deliver the gold.
Do you know how often this happens?
No, I'm sorry. She never let me know that.
Do you know there's a reward for to capture the pirates? Have you heard of this?
I have. I also have heard that people have tried but failed to be able to collect on the bounty.
It seems like you are in a good position to perhaps capture one or more of these pirates if you could figure out when the next tribute was going out. The one ship would be a reward of 2,000 gold pieces. Is this an amount that is impressive to you?
To me? Well, yes. I do not have that much gold on me. But I don't know. It changes things. Messes with the order of things. I do not like it so much when things change.
So you're saying if you were in a position to capture the pirates, you wouldn't?
If I were in a position to, then I would. But I will not go out and actively hunt the pirates. That is me going out to change the way things are.
In Chilton, I'm going to lean over to Shago and tell him, maybe you should tell them that you're undercover with the Flaming Fist. That would make things a lot easier. I don't think they'd be able to they'd want to blow your cover there.
Are you sure?
I think that much you can tell them, yes. But maybe still dance around details like you have been doing.
Okay. Zola tells me it is okay for me to tell you, to trust in you, to let you know that I am in Fort Beluarian spying on the Flaming Fist. I am there to try and find out all that they are doing. If I mess up with the, what did they call it? Standard quo? Not sure. If I mess things up, then it would make things difficult for my activities, my job.
I see.
Greco's
So
a
you,
little skeptical of this. I'm rolling an insight to see if.
It's true,
Oh man.
but there are quite a lot of things that you can see. He's obviously hiding some stuff, but he is talking naturally about being a spy. Of course, there's going to be somewhat truths involved.
Do I have an idea of which areas he was maybe a little more flexible with the truth?
His reasons for being a spy.
Okay. But the fact that he is a spy, for that, all of
true.
that is absolutely true. He just, okay,
Yes.
that's fine. That's fine.
so you're gathering information for your mother, is that right?
Yes,
And that includes the information regarding the safety of ships flying the gate, the flag of Baldur's Gate, is that right?
not yet.
We talked
Not
about
yet.
that. We're gonna wait a little bit longer. Closer that we get to Mesro, the more likely we will let her know. But we're concerned that it might be too early for that information to start flying.
So your mother has sent you to gain information about pirates, and you've gained information about pirates, and you have not yet communicated this information about pirates. Is that correct?
Yes, it is true. But you're missing the bigger picture here. I have gained a little bit of information, how to avoid them. I have not gained who their captains are, where they actually set port. They must set port somewhere. I have not been able to gain that information. I hope my goal, my task, is to get in close with the fort, get high enough within their ranks that I am privy to that information, if the fort is involved.
We've
If
got
the fort is not involved, then there is nothing else I can say.
a carp. We want a whale.
So
Yes.
we know that your fort sends tribute to the pirates. Would this not be an opportunity for you to gain more information?
It would be a very risky way to gain the information. True, I see what you are saying, that perhaps if I followed the money, I can learn a lot more. But if it goes wrong, everything is lost. I am hesitant to lose everything.
So Carl is very suspicious. Averine is probably smarter than Carl. So I don't know if she is gathering more information than Carl is gathering. But I have more questions that maybe I would ask Zola outside of Shago's presence.
Okay. Then if you wait until like the group have moved on a little bit more and Shago is more in the mode of tracking the paths through the jungle, then you'd have a moment alone with Zola if you wish.
Zola, it's possible I'm engaging in motivated reasoning, but I feel like Fort Beluarian is in league with the pirates, and it might be just because I don't like this porter lady. I'm open to the possibility that my emotions are clouding my judgment in that regard. And I might have jumped to a different conclusion as well about the relationship between Port Nyanzaru and Fort Beluarian. I mean, initially I thought that the fort was there to be the protection of Port Nyanzaru. But from your brother's investigation, it seems that they have uncovered a way to protect themselves, yet have not shared it with the port. Do you know what the relationship is between the fort and the port?
Can I use insight for that? Because it will have been a collection of information gathered from talking to people.
Yes, if you'd like to, go ahead and roll insight. Okay. The relationships are always quite tense. For one thing, so in Port Nine-Zaro, which is the major hub, it is practically a capital city. The relationship between it and Fort Belowarian is strained because Fort Belowarian is far more wealthy. They have managed to keep hold of and claim own personal rights to all expeditions in the jungle along that eastern section, which one of the merchant princes in Port Nine-Zaro, Jobal, is specifically the merchant prince of expedition guides. He's a ruthless man. He's often considered an evil man, and to have his guide usually costs more, but to ever be found outside the jungle without his guide usually costs your life. He's obviously angry because there's a whole market that he's not able to tap into. The merchant princes that do trade can't trade with anything that they found on the eastern side of the jungle because technically it's property belonging to Fort Belowarian. And as a result, the relationship, though initially, like any city would be to its neighbors, fairly standard and comfortable, is right on a knife edge right now. Hence the spying.
I can at least tell you that the people of Nyanzaru have never looked at Belowarian like they were there for protection. They kind of just started their own thing over there. And it is a problem. And it's a problem specifically for my mother, very much. But, Averine, do you really want to tack that problem on to this much greater problem we are already attempting to manage?
I am naturally curious about things. And from what your brother is saying, I find that things aren't adding up directly. I feel like there is a missing piece. And I feel
agree.
like he might be holding something back. And it's not my place to get in the middle of family affairs. And I'll leave that to you. But I feel like this portier lady, that she is villainous.
I get the same kind of sense, gut feeling, if you will. I did talk to him about it, and he was vague. We settled on a plan, and that is, if we get to outside of Mesro and we're about to go in, we're going to divulge all the information via the ring, so that if something happens to us, that information will at least be carried on. So in between now and getting there, I'm going to keep talking to Shago and let him know that we're coming from a place of concern for him and concern for my mom and just want to do the right thing. And I'll see if I can get him to open up a little bit more. I appreciate you leaving it to the family, though. Forcing him is not the way to get through to Shago. So.
Why isn't it that he is in your place? Why isn't he following in the family business?
He was.
Is that not how things work in Chult?
No, yeah, he was. And him going off to Belowarian was part of it. I'm sure Mom had plans for him afterwards too when he returned, but he's not done with that yet. So.
But as she's in charge of the commerce relating to textiles and jewelry and that sort of thing. Isn't his position just in the fort? Why doesn't that raise eyebrows? Do they not know who his mother is? Is he just some guy hanging out?
No, they ought to, but Shago is Shago. You know, you've met him. He'll do what he wants to do. regardless. He beats to his own drum and stuff. So it's not. If he ends up not working for the family business, I'll say I won't be surprised. But for now, this is what we have. Does that make sense?
Aye. Let's go kill some ghouls so we can visit the portal lady again and find out what she's really up to.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else that would be happening during this time? The journey through the jungle for another day, the rest of the day, goes by fairly uneventful. However, the heat is starting to build up. It's getting a little too sweaty, a little too muggy. The humidity is getting quite bad, and as you continue to traipse through the jungle, your steps feel a little heavier as you're making your way through.
Are we shaping water, everybody, and cooling
Okay.
down?
Shaping the sweat that's running off of them, and then
I'm
back.
just gonna frosty up everybody every so often with a little bit of a cool breeze and just keep everybody a bit chill.
Pulling the water out of the air, using it to tower the water bender. Right?
You're a portable air conditioner.
Yeah.
All right. Continuing on, no ill encounters or special encounters happen for the rest of the day, and you camp out for the night, and the night goes by surprisingly quite calmly. The next day, Shargo will continue. Yep,
He wants to take the watch with Carmen that night.
absolutely.
And he's going to get out his flute, and I do play, and I wonder if you would join me. I made you this, and he gets out another flute that he's been spending some time on.
Oh,
Would you mind joining me in song?
oh, that's adorable. Oh, you're adorable. No, of course. Okay, provided we're not going to disturb anybody.
We can play quietly, and maybe the melody will help you sleep.
We'll sit there and play our little flutes.
Okay. So in this situation, both of you are playing. So separately, both of you roll performance checks.
Oh. I'm rolling really bad.
You may be bad tonight, but not quite as bad as Tower. At first, you are actually quite impressed at the quality of flute that he made. This is actually a very good quality. What he did well was in copying the flute that he has very well. It's almost a perfect replica. Unfortunately, his ability to use it wavers from time to time, and as a result, about 30 seconds into it, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw, as something small and hard is going to get thrown at your head.
Yeah. Both of us? Or?
Both of you.
Okay.
Okay. Both of you manage to dodge out of the way as this projectile comes flying between your heads, hits the floor in front of you. Be quiet. Comes a gruff and angry voice from Grigory.
Sorry.
The red one does not like good music.
The red one doesn't like a lot of things. I wouldn't take it personally. But thank you very much.
Maybe we can try another time.
We can try again. That's fine. Maybe when he's not in earshot.
No.
Okay. All right. He is grouchy though. It's fine.
But can you not deafen him?
I could. Next time we'll just silence him. He won't mind.
Oh. Okay. Anything else that you guys would be doing
No.
during the time? Okay. Then in the morning, on a nice new day, still just as swelteringly hot this day,
Sorry.
continues moving on. Our turtle found a pet.
That's the compy, right? She's just...
No, the compy looks nothing.
But she's so cute.
During this day, as Shago continues to push on, he does well. You see a little bit of a sheepish look on his face as he has to have you backtrack for a moment on this day. As it turns out, yesterday you'd kind of gone in the wrong direction, but he brings you back. You're a little bit closer than you were yesterday, a little bit. But he can't hide it. He does his best. However, you are in the undead territory at this point. He accidentally had you walking through some areas of undead.
That's okay.
Yeah, good. All right. As you begin to make your way through, recovering after the moment of being lost, you guys stumble across a clearing within the jungle. It's no more than about 30 foot in diameter. It's just a break in the tree where it almost seems like someone had come along and just cut out everything in a circle and then pulled it off. In the center of this clearing, you all see a vine-covered, moss-draped, or I guess it's the other way around, moss-covered, vine-draped, 10-foot tall statue of a great Cholton warrior. As you get closer to this warrior statue, Shago immediately drops to one knee, puts his spear and shield on the floor, and begins to say a prayer. As it appears, this is a statue to Ubtao.
I also kneel and do the same.
Is this one of your gods?
This is the god of all of Chult. And it is said that whenever you find a vestige of Ubtao, you should spend time to ponder on your life and your situation, and really give thanks to the god for everything he has provided for you.
I'm
Does
gonna
Greco,
touch Shago's shoulder and say, "Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna scout the area to make sure we're safe."
does Greco know anything about Ubtao?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a religion check.
Yeah, why not? Oh, maybe it is.
Okay. You've heard some stories of Ubtao, only that he is an older god. You haven't heard anything recent of him or his worshippers. It is known that he is the ancient god of Chult, but not much more. You don't really know too much more about it.
Would he at least know, and it might be since they're from such different areas, there's really no intersection, but if there's any enmity between this god and Kelemvor, or if they're kind of just so far removed that there's not anything.
There's no enmity at all. Okay. That much you can know. You know, because of just Chultan history, there was a time when Ubtao just left.
Mm-hmm.
Worship of Ubtao just stopped. And other gods came in. Kelemvor began to spread his influence in the area as well.
Yeah.
So there's no real enmity between the two, as there was never really a fight for worship between them.
Okay. Well, then Greco's just going to kneel as a showing of good faith with Shago and join him in prayer towards Ubtao.
Okay. Zola, you said you were going to go out and scout the area just to see if we were private for a moment.
There's like a 30-foot diameter cutout, so I'm going to hop up into the tree line and stay in the boughs of the trees and do a circle. stealthily.
You'll be able to do so fairly easily and see that, strangely enough, there doesn't seem to be any signs of wildlife in the immediate vicinity of the statue.
Isn't that like the reverse of what you'd expect to find?
Kind of. In fact, you look and, barring a few old humanoid tracks, it seems like this area is almost very rarely traversed. In fact, there are points where, go ahead and roll a perception check. Okay. What's your passive, actually?
15.
15. Okay, 15 is enough. You follow some of these strange tracks to kind of get a bit more understanding of the situation and what this is. And it almost seems like you can see a path of tracks heading one way, then they turn and they make a roundabout the shrine, and then almost exactly opposite where their tracks had started, they turn straight again and keep going. So these tracks that you've been able to find seem to be actively avoiding the shrine. Whether that's conscious or not, you don't know.
I'll jump down from the tree line and be like, hey, Shago, you might want to get up and back up. You too, Greco. It looks like the only passersby in this area in a while made a point to avoid the shrine. And it's also too quiet.
Well then.
Can I have a look to see how the compy's reacting?
Ooh.
The
Compy seems to be fine. Yeah.
is completely oblivious.
How big is this clearing that we're in?
30-foot diameter.
All right,
The
then
tree line in the area is usually around between 30 and 40 foot high.
So I'm going to draw out my sword and shield and invoke Kelemvor's greatness to use the what's it called? Eyes of the Grave, I think it is. Until the end of my next turn, which I mean we're not in turn, so just however long. Location of any undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover and that isn't protected from divination magic.
Okay. Nothing.
Ah, okay.
Could I cast Unseen Servant?
You can do. For what
Because
reason?
I'm wondering, should I have the servant go up and touch the statue?
Can do.
Shago,
You can do.
is it normal for your statues of reverence to be covered by moss and vines? Should we not clean it up?
We should clean it up. It is common to find ruins, old relics of a bygone age covered in the jungle. And there are few stories of people coming across lone statues of Uptao. So I would like to take some time to clean off the statue.
Well, I think
Real quick.
Carmen's ahead of
Sorry.
us. She looks like she's going to do it, and I just wanted to make sure that is a respectful thing for us to be doing, or if it's more respectful to leave him covered.
Since Greco is also searching for the yellow musk creeper, what would I roll to see if I can identify if maybe this is part of what is kind of creeping around this statue, and that might be why everything's avoiding it.
Could be. Roll a nature check.
Likely not a good roll there.
No, you don't really know. The thing about the yellow musk creeper is that it is technically a creature more than it is just a straight up plant. And these vines, you can't tell whether or not they're normal vines or if they are special. They're just vines.
Yeah. Well, darn.
Okay. The unseen servant begins to float
Just as a
towards,
maid.
Can't see it.
but unseen.
Oh,
So in
Oh,
your
I know,
mind,
it's dressed as
in
a
your
maid.
mind, dressed as a maid, with the stereotypical long grey dress with the big apron. Now, are you thinking medieval maid or French maid?
No, I'm just thinking just with a duster. There could be any type of maid. I'm not.
Right. Okay. All right.
Maids are there to clean. Whatever's in your mind, Aaron.
I'm
Exactly,
trying to
the
find out
duster
what's
from
in
Beauty
your
and the
mind.
Beast.
That's where this goes. All right. So the unseen servant makes its way over towards, and you command it to go and touch the statue.
To go and just try and take some of the vines off and.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay.
This is based on your ability to control the magical energies that it uses.
Okay.
Okay. Very carefully, you have it lift vines, scrub away some moss. It seems to be doing a good job. It's not as delicate and intricate as any normal person would be, as it's just kind of rough with what it does. However, it does seem to be revealing now that you're rubbing off moss and vines, that there is a very intricate pattern of carvings all around the base of this statue, which were at first covered by some of the moss and lichen.
Okay.
Do any of you approach close enough to be able to identify what these would be?
If we could see them, Averine would totally be curious.
Yeah, and I think Greco, since he's kind of near the statue already, would try to take a look.
Okay. You all, well, those of you that approach, your immediate view is just a series of random lines, just bisecting one another and heading off in all directions, though very square-like, always vertical or horizontal, never diagonal. Okay. Roll a intelligence-based skill check. Whatever skills of intelligence you might be proficient in is okay. It's up to you. But roll a intelligence-based skill check.
Garbage.
And would you like to roll a d4? There we go. So 24. Okay. Very quickly, you start to notice a pattern with the way that the vertical and the horizontal lines are mixed up together. This isn't just a strange picture. This is a maze. The entire bottom platform of this statue is covered in a maze structure.
So like the maze, like on when you go to a restaurant and there's a kids menu and you have one end.
Exactly like that.
Exactly like that.
Yep. In fact, after a little bit of looking around, you even notice a start and finish.
Is it a maze that someone has already completed, or is it tabula rasa?
There's no coloring in on it. There's no markings on it to indicate that it has recently been used. But roll a investigation check for me. Okay. Very well done. Yes, the moss has been pushed away, but you notice that there, near the entrance of the opening, or at least one of the openings of this maze, there is a particular path that has clearly not had any moss on it, or at least not as much as anything else. So it has been cleaned, or it has been scrubbed recently, or whatever. But just the start of it seems to be clearly defined as different shade of granite and of stone than the rest.
Shago, does your Ubtal religion include any tales of mazes or labyrinths? Is that hold any religious significance to you?
Yes, it does. The simplest thing, without going into too much detail of explaining all these stories, the simple thing is that Uptau likes to test his followers, to test their abilities, their ingenuity. I have heard of things like this. When Uptau presents a challenge to you, you are expected to complete the challenge. And if you succeed, you are given a reward. If you fail, then, well, I have not heard of anyone failing.
That suggests that the challenges aren't very challenging.
Or that no one returns from failing.
Well, what do you make of this particular maze? Is this just meant to be followed by my finger from beginning to end? Or is it something else?
It could be. Would you like me to give it a try?
What shape is the maze? Is it a square maze or is it one of those circular mazes?
It's a square maze that covers the base. So he's on... The statue of the warrior is stood on top of a platform that is a square. Well, it's more like 4 rectangles. And the maze covers all 4 sides. So,
are any of us, or is Averine some sort of savant that could look at the maze and just, in her brain, just see the line and know exactly where to start and where to end?
You know Averine as much as I do. It's possible that Averine has, with her collecting of knowledge and visiting Candlekeep a lot, come across lots of puzzles like this before, and could possibly be able to do so. She'd need to roll a perception check to see if she can pick out similarities and patterns, or maybe something else if you can think of another skill that would be used to identify and spot patterns.
Well, Averine would say to Shago, I would not recommend touching it yet. Allow me to take some time to study it, and perhaps I'll cast Minor Illusion so I can create a perfect replica. So I can just have the practice of having created the entire maze to try to recapture it so that I have an intimate knowledge of the maze.
Okay.
Can I do that?
I think if Greco could, he would like to kind of help Spot to give an aid so he can get advantage on whatever roll he'll get for this too.
Okay.
If this is a divine challenge, we should rise up to meet it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I'm in the back.
Mm-hmm. So,
I'm more concerned if we do not meet it, what will happen? Are we trapped in this field? Can we not just walk away?
Of course we can walk away. But why would you walk away from a challenge from a god?
Because it's a challenge from a god.
Because nobody else has walked away. And people have avoided this, have they not?
Would my knowledge of religion roll earlier? No, I wouldn't have known how one starts this challenge. Okay.
Nope.
Because Stephen is concerned that just the act of trying to solve it without putting pen to paper might be too much, but Greco doesn't care. He doesn't know.
Okay. So, Averine, you study this. At least you study one side of the rectangle, create a minor illusion so that you can see it. You then study the next one and kind of shift it and so that you can get one big panel image of a panoramic view of the full maze. And you begin to follow and move through the paths. What skills would you be applying to help you solve this maze?
Well, I guess I would be using Arcana to be able to hold this minor illusion up while also concentrating on solving the puzzle.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check. 23. Not bad. Not bad.
Shago, is it? Do you mind if I try to solve this puzzle? I'll take your help, obviously, but I don't want to step on your toes and assume that this challenge was meant for me, when it's clearly on the statue of your deity.
I do not mind. If you think you can honor Uptao better than I, then go ahead.
If he rewards cleverness, I'm sure that all of our efforts combined will be sufficient to meet the task.
Absolutely. So, with your Arcana check, you are able to focus on it, get the pattern. Okay, it's first left, second right, fifth left, and you just start mapping it out, creating a mental picture of the exact path you need to take. Now, that'll take you probably about 30 minutes of just constantly trying to test it out and recreate it. Now, at this point, you need to apply that to the real thing, if you would like to. So this will be applied from memory, right? Or will you do something else?
Well, I'm going to throw a portent out there first because I hadn't rolled for the day yet. And I think I'll take the 17. So whatever you're going to have me roll, I'm going to use the 17.
Okay. Well, as I often say, this choice of skill that you apply to this challenge controls the DC of the challenge. So which of your skills you would apply to this moment of actually solving, now that you've gotten a good idea of the pattern that you need to follow, how would you translate that?
I guess I would use my history as a feat of memory.
Okay, go ahead.
So the history is a +8.
+8. Okay, so 25. That'll do it. That'll do it. You begin to trace your finger, and very clearly, within moments of you dragging your finger along the maze path, you see a shift in color of the stone. It darkens ever so slightly wherever you've rubbed your finger, almost like you're brushing off age-old dust and revealing a layer of stone beneath. The stone gets darker and darker until it's a sheer black path that you are drawing through. You're following the turns as you should, rotating around as best as you can until you get to the very last point, and you just tip it out of the exit. A wave of emotion and power just suddenly explodes out of that path that you connect, and everyone finds themselves alone. Well, not alone, but grouped together in the clearing. No statue. Statue's gone. I need everyone except for Averine to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Sorry.
Could use luck.
I could use if I roll again, it's worse.
When you use luck, you roll another d20,
Right.
and you choose which to use.
Yep.
Okay.
You gonna use luck?
I'm going to use luck.
There's a handful of terrible rolls.
This is not good at all.
Oh, do
What
it.
was there?
Just
So just roll a d20.
yeah. So.
15. So would you like to take a 15
Yes.
instead of your 13?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what have we got? 5 from Zola, 4 from Greco,
Garbage.
7 from Tower, 3 from Shargo, 15 from Carmen. We need to roll for Gregory.
He is a +1, I think.
Yep, I'll just click on his wisdom save. Yep, +1. 16. Okay. Everyone that rolled everyone that didn't roll a check, so Averine, or those that rolled a 15 or higher, which is just Carmen and Gregory, nothing happens to you. You, in a moment, you just simply see the statue of Uptau just pop and disappear in a flash of light.
Okay.
Averine, you feel yourself bolstered and blessed by the god of Uptau to some degree, in that now you have a charm on you. Okay, the charm of Uptau can be cashed in at any point in which you wish to effectively grant yourself in that moment an additional D4 to your D20 based roll. So it's like a bless, it's like a guidance. It's a one-time use, but can be used on any D20 based roll. Okay. Everyone else, though, so Zola, Greco, Tower, and Shargo, have no memory of anything that just happened. And in fact, in your recollection, you just entered the clearing.
Thank God.
Everybody hold on, I gotta scout the area. Jump
What's
up
that?
into the trees.
What is that strange statue?
No,
in the
there's no
center of the
statue.
clearing?
There's
Oh,
no-
right, it disappeared. Okay.
It's like you don't remember ever seeing a statue. You don't remember that being. You've just stumbled across a 30-foot wide open clearing in the jungle.
Guys, there are some footprints that go around this
guys,
area.
Stop.
Clearings like this,
No.
very unnatural.
No.
Most clearings do
Something
not form
strange.
perfect circle as this one does.
Guys, so Averine's there as well, right? You're still there? Okay. Just stop for a minute. Don't touch anything. What do you mean you want to scout the area, Zola? We... Really? You've just done that?
Gregory is going to roll an insight check just to see if he can understand what's going on. If he rolls high enough, he's going to start pretending like he's lost his memory too.
Well, we've been vigilant searching,
No.
but I don't think that's the same as scouting. I think it's a good idea for Zola to scout.
Just gonna check for undead.
I'll bestow Kellenvor's blessings to see if there's any undead locally, and I'll use my last use of Eyes of the Grave to to find out that there are no undead nearby.
Yes, this is a strange spot. I know. I will look at perception check.
Fair enough. Right. You don't sense any undead, Greco.
All right.
In the
There are no
area.
undead present in this area. It's a strange clearing here, though.
And with your perception check, you also notice that this place seems eerily quiet and not traversed much.
I will look at. There isn't any wildlife, is there?
No, there's no wildlife anywhere around here.
I will look to see how the comp is reacting.
Wait. Hang on.
This strange. There is-
We need to roll. Yeah, we need to.
Copy's oblivious.
Compy doesn't remember a thing either. So the compy seems fine.
It's strange. There is no animals here.
Do you guys? Did none of you remember the statue that was here a minute ago?
I remember, Carmen. I remember.
You remember? Okay. So
Is
why
this a
can't
joke?
you guys remember?
We have only just walked in here.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
We've been here for a while. I promise you.
No,
Carmen, we have been walking for many days.
1 month.
Are you perhaps confused?
No, Greco, I think she's being honest. I think she's being literal and honest. I think something happened.
Inside check.
She has done.
That's exactly what.
Oh, well. Goodness. Zola, I feel you may be correct. There
Yeah,
are
you
strange
all-
magics afoot.
Yeah, you all get a sense of, okay, something has happened. Something has changed.
Averine, what did you do?
Well, I solved the puzzle. It was mere child's play after all. You know, what can I say? I have a way with puzzles. But once I completed it, I felt a wash of divine blessings upon me. I feel that like Ubtao is looking favorably upon us now.
What puzzle do you speak? I see no puzzle.
It is strange that you did not recall, but when we entered this clearing initially, there was a statue in the middle with a puzzle on it. We were here for some time, but it appears that upon solving the puzzle, some of us were blessed with the memory of the event, while others were cursed to remove the memory.
We have been here for some time. Can we notice that can Tower notice that the sun has moved precariously more and the time of day has shifted between the two events?
That completely depends on how perceptive Tower would be naturally. So what is Tower's passive perception?
15.
15. Yeah, it's not shifted much. But yes, it seems a little bit later in the day.
How long exactly? The sun has moved now, you say this.
It's only been about an hour or so.
The heat of the days is... What time of day is it?
It's now mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon. So is it cooling or is it getting hot?
It's cooling down.
Yes. It is much cooler than before. This is strange. Why do we have no memory? What did you do? Why do you have memory and we do not?
She touched it. I'm just lucky.
Shargo, at the mention of hearing that there was a statue to Ubtao, he will go on to explain once again the stories of how sometimes people have talked about coming across a statue and being challenged by the god. He will stop for a moment, put his shield and spear down, say a couple prayers at the area where Ubtao's presence may have been felt, but then quickly, okay, whatever the god had planned for us here, it must be finished. We must have no need or purpose to be here anymore. Let us continue moving.
So can I put my hand on Shago's shoulder and see if I'm able to transfer the blessing? See. Your deity, he honors our travels, and he blesses your search for whatever path we need to find. If the blessing is a palpable thing that I can feel, if I can feel it, and I don't feel it move, then I will cast guidance on him so that he will still feel the effect. At least it'll be coming from a different deity.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check, as this is a magical effect. All right. Unfortunately, it seems like it is fixed to you. You are, at least right now, not understanding of it enough to be able to bestow it upon someone else. So you'll have to cast guidance yourself on him to do so. But then he will keep guiding you through the jungle once more. See how he does. Okay. Continuing to, well, I should ask, is there anyone in the party that helps him track?
Yeah, I was actually about to say, I feel like Greco would probably be keeping an eye out for him, or with him as well.
Yeah.
So should I...
being druidian foresty, he would be doing the same.
I know I don't like to make assumptions, but should I assume that he will always be making his survival checks, his tracking checks with advantage because you guys are helping him?
I think that's safe to assume, yeah.
Okay. All right. So he manages to help track the path, and he gets you further along the journey that you should be. The next day, as you travel through, though, the weather begins to shift. The humidity has increased. You can almost feel the energy in the air. A bad storm is imminent. What do you guys do with this palpable feeling of bad weather, of torrential weather?
Taro asked Shaga, you can feel the static in the air.
Yes.
You have bad storms here.
From time to time, we do, yes. They pass. It is usually not wise to be out and about during the times.
Should we not find some kind of shelter? We do not know how long we have until this storm is upon us.
That might be a good idea.
Shelter on the highland.
Yeah. I do believe we are not too far from the mountains north of here, so we could. It might cause us to backtrack just a little bit, but we could certainly find shelter up there.
I would not wish to get caught in a storm in this area of jungle.
Okay.
I do not wish to talk for the rest of my party.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Would you proceed, or would you wish to find a shelter?
Shelter. Maybe a cave.
Okay. Then Shargo will begin leading you back up the elevation as the land increases back up towards the mountainside, making the journey just that little bit longer, but it is seeking shelter from a pretty nasty storm that is about to arrive. He is going to need help to be able to find an appropriate cave system on this side of the mountain. So how would you guys, what would you guys be doing to help find appropriate shelter?
I think I would just join him in the search, having some experience in and around the jungles. So I would roll a survival for that once my sheet reboots up.
Tao would be perceiving those locations with his using his immense height and his long reach.
I will also perceive.
Okay. Then can everyone make perception checks then?
Perception check.
My roll 20 reset, so I'm having to reboot it. So if somebody wants to roll a survival for me, I think it's D20 plus 4 for Greco.
Okay. You want to roll survival instead of perception?
I think my survival's higher than my perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you rolled a 12.
Total or with the bonus?
With the bonus.
Okay.
Can I roll nature to see if I can find the natural gradient that might indicate where a cave system might be starting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should have done that.
Now let's have Shargo rolling. Everyone seems to struggle to some degree. It takes a while. In fact, it takes an entire day of just searching along the side of the mountain to be able to find a suitable cave large enough for you all to fit in comfortably, but also providing the right kind of shelter so that you can still get airflow whilst the torrential rain is coming down, but the rain isn't going to come in. And
it's all about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah. And hopefully, the cave isn't so big that it's occupied. Eventually, Zola stumbles across one such cave that seems to be the right size, good position. Seems to fit all the things that are needed. So you all kind of head up into Zola's cave.
Can I check it out first before having everybody crowd in the immediate vicinity? And I'm actually going to invite Tower too, because I've heard him sneak, and he's pretty sneaky.
Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth checks then.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Could have been so good.
Well, I didn't want to invite me along.
I'm just trying to think how... Okay, so one of you was perfectly quiet. The other one thinks he was perfectly quiet.
Maybe
Can I give luck?
how it was assisting the
You
stealth.
cannot give luck in a situation like this. So in this
Is
situation...
the floor slippy? I'm just gonna roll back to my first ever D&D camp thing. If you imagine what happened there.
Yeah. So as you all, the two of you begin stealthing your way through, Zola naturally going ahead, perfectly quietly, so quiet that Tower doesn't hear her footsteps at all. As he tries to emulate her actions, he tries to kind of step lightly. He's kind of a big guy, so changing the way that he steps is causing a bit of a problem. The sweat covering his entire body, the wet floor, slips, ends up sliding on his backside through the mud, unfortunately tackling into the back of Zola, knocking her over, ruining any sort of attempt at stealth. But after a moment, you'll get back up and continue your search. Not so quietly.
Land on me.
She backwards rolled right, and she stood up as soon as she could see. Very acrobatically. Okay. So looking around the cave system,
You can see in the dark, slightly red. Try to stay
you
quiet.
you
It's
have
okay,
the
buddy.
main opening of this cave, which is not too big. It's probably about 50 foot in diameter, or width rather. The height of this entrance cave is only something like 10 to 15 foot high. It varies at different points. Hidden quite well at the back, though. The floor of the cave rises up. The roof of the cave drops down, but there's a point where the roof and the floor don't actually connect, and there is a shaft that runs hidden behind that drops down into a much larger cavern structure, where you find yourselves an entrance, an old, unused entrance to a mining system. After you follow this path down, you can see the wooden struts that keep the path perfectly neat. You know that you're in the mountain system, that the Flaming Fist, Fort Belwarian, do have a mine. This must be the other side of it.
Averine is peering into the cave. It's like, what's taking them so long? It's just a bleeding cave.
Does it echo all the way through?
Yep, certainly does. What do you guys do with this knowledge that the cave that you found happens to be a back entrance to the Fort Belawarian mines?
It should be fine so long as we have Shago. So let's head back, and when we do get back, let him know. The cave back here drops off into the exit of the, I believe it was a silver mine.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in their territory and stuff, but just know that we're completely vulnerable back there, as much as we are at the cave mouth.
Okay. Shago, hearing that the cave that you have picked is connected to the silver mine of the Fort Belwarian, turns and walks to Carmen. Please, do not get lost. And I understand you might like you might like some silver, but I assure you it is not worth hunting after this silver. So please don't steal anything from the fort.
Shago, where are you getting that? Why Carmen?
There's a devil. There's a devil standing right beside her.
What's your deal with the ladies? First it was making sure Averine was okay after a fight, and now you're telling Carmen don't get this is random. It's coming out of nowhere. Check your privilege.
Sal's gonna grab Greco, slowly back away.
I'm sorry. I just need to make sure that everyone is safe within the mines. Okay, please do not enter the mines. Okay.
Can I take out a dagger, spin it around on my hand to just try and intimidate him and then pop it back in the holster?
Of course, and you naturally are intimidating to him.
Oh, good. Then I just want to be extra intimidating. Do I need to roll for that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Fantastic.
Yeah. He's afraid of you.
Good.
That's where this is all coming from. Because he knows he can't actually stop you.
Oh, good.
Doing anything.
That's even better.
So, all right. Okay.
I tap him on the head. All right.
I hope we will not be here for too long. That night, while you guys are keeping watch, while you guys are sleeping, the storm will start. The clouds will break, thunder and lightning will explode across the sky. The lightning casts shadows all over the place. Are you two going to be done? Then go ahead and roll performance checks with advantage because you can hide it behind the storm. Okay. Good thing you guys had advantage this time around. You play well enough that it's not obviously any mistakes that you make aren't heard over the sounds of the storm going on. And you start to pick up the tempo and match it. You'll see a flash of lightning and then you'll know, okay, chances are the crash sound will happen soon. So you start to build up the tune to the point of then the crash. And then you keep going. Like you have a good time.
Oh.
This is fun. Thanks.
Oh, you're getting much better.
Thank you.
And I love this. This is great. It's good fun.
I hope you like it.
I do. I love the gift. It's brilliant.
Just
During the night,
said I should give gifts to people that I think I like. I like you.
Oh, you're a good friend.
Thank you.
Friend zone. Okay. This evening, obviously, you guys are going to keep watches. Who's going to be taking the first watch?
I think that was us. Well, whenever the storm broke, so how far into the...
Okay, so it would be you guys. We'll say that. Roll perception checks.
I want to say that every night when we set up camp, Averine casts alarm around the area. So this would be like one of those nights.
Yep, fair enough.
Perception.
As you're watching the storm unfold, the cave is quite well positioned that the rain just almost looks like a complete curtain of water. And through it, the lightning cascades images into the cave. Those images, those designs and pictures are a little dazzling almost. The way that they cascade across, flicker with the the shadows created by the campfire that you have. And you almost swear you are watching a story unfold before your eyes in the very nature of this storm. Not anything truly intelligible, but obviously the storm does not feel natural while you're keeping your watch. But nothing happens during it, and you shift over your watch to someone else. Who are you shifting over to Zola? Zola, go ahead and roll a perception check. Okay.
Is anybody else on watch with me?
Is it Greg's time?
No, Greg won't, because he always does the first or the last, 'cause he's
Yeah.
selfish.
Yeah.
Can I wake up Shago to do it with me?
You can do, yeah. He will roll perception.
Faded.
Yep. Unfortunately, the two of you fall asleep on each other's shoulders. At
That's
this
precious,
time, a moment will pass when the alarm will trigger. Now, what kind of alarm did you set up, Averine?
It's a 20-foot cube around the area that we're in, and all of us are permitted entrance and exit of it. But once it triggers, so anyone other than us, I get a mental ping.
Okay, you went for the mental ping. Okay, cool. It's good to know. Then I'm just going to pull in everyone into the little cave-like map.
I'm so sorry. I took the middle watch because I got the night vision. It's supposed to help. No,
It's supposed to help. But you fell asleep on the job.
the rain is very soothing.
It looks like it's both. So a mental alarm alerts you with a ping if I'm within a mile, and an audible alarm produces the sound of a handbell for 10 seconds within 60 feet. So it's both.
Don't you get to choose? I'm pretty sure it says you get to choose.
If it does say that, then Roll20 is wrong, because I'm just reading off what Roll20 has.
The mental ping sounds like it's if you're not in the vicinity, so you could put an alarm on something and get pinged when you're away from it.
The difference is obviously the mental ping will set off in that moment with that 20-foot radius.
You're right. No, it does.
And it'll only
say
set off for Averine. If it, yeah.
It says I choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. All right.
Okay.
So in that case, I chose that it would be audible.
Okay. So you made a point to make sure that if the alarm goes off, everyone in the group is going to hear it.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. All right. So you can see yourselves. The alarm spell that you would cast is an area no larger than a 20-foot cube. So let's draw in that 20-foot cube. 20.
Well, whatever that is very close to us.
Yeah. So the alarm is triggered as a creature sneaks up and approaches Greco. This creature, grey of skin, blood dripping down its mouth, bright yellow eyes.
Unpleasant.
Unpleasant. It's also undead.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, it's not alone. So,
Oh, I'm so going to kick Shargo.
it's Zola's fault.
Yeah, why are we
It's totally
blaming
Shago. Yes, you should kick Shago.
But I'll kick Shargo first.
I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Oh, criminy.
I'm rolling so crap today.
Yeah, this is
roll.
not a good day for us.
This is
Averine's doing great, but that's the only person.
Well, Averine didn't do too hot that time.
Yep.
I did too well now.
I'm going to use one of my lucks.
I would like to put it on record that I have only ever had one TPK.
Well, yeah, maybe total, but we'll see how close we get to that today.
I'm holding on to my lucks.
All right.
Might need them.
Thankfully, because of the alarm, none of you are considered surprised.
Oh, thank God.
So that's good. However, every one of you is prone.
Mm-hmm.
So is anyone missing from the turn order?
Can you add
I need to
my
add
familiar's
Gregory.
name?
No, Grigori's not in there.
Gregory. There we go.
Oh my God.
Aluando, please.
You want Alawando?
Yes.
This. Okay. Alawando. And then can you roll initiative for Alawando, or do you need me to?
I think I can. I have to pick them. And then
It's like me.
it's just Dex, right? Oh wait, I see it.
Okay.
Nice. So, at the top of the round, as these ghouls are approaching you all, Alawando. What is Alawando going to do?
How high is the cavern?
Varies between 15 and 20 foot.
Flies up 20 to the top of the cavern, where he is, just hanging out by Everine.
Cool. Then, immediate. Anything else from him?
That's it.
Okay. Then we have the ghoul that is next to tower. It will be attacking you with advantage because you are prone, and it will slice at you with its claws. That is a 15 to hit you. No, sorry, advantage 16 to hit you.
Yes.
Hits. Okay, that is 10 points of slashing damage, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Today's rolls. Oh my God.
As the claw slashes across you, you are paralyzed for a minute.
Jeez Louise.
Averine, what do you do?
Do I see that the claw attack had this paralytic effect on Tower? Can I discern that? And would I know how to help him shake off the paralyzation?
Problem is, he was lying down when he was attacked. Now he's still lying down. It's not like it's fixed him in a position. It's paralyzed him has meant that he can't control it. You're going to need to roll an insight check.
Well, why not?
Okay, that's definitely not natural tower behavior. So he is definitely paralyzed in some way, shape, or form. Unfortunately, you don't know the nature of the paralytic, and you don't know what could break him from it.
Okay, then I will use half my movement to stand up, and then use my action to cast Bless, and I will use Bless on myself, on Tower and Zola.
Okay. Anything else from you?
Is it light in here? Do we have like a campfire?
That's up to you guys if there was a campfire. There is light periodically because the storm is still happening outside.
I will say there was campfire.
Yeah, because we
Rory
can't
likes his fires, yeah.
see.
Okay, so there is campfire which creates dim light, well, bright light to 20 feet, dim light beyond that, as it's died down a little bit.
Okay, well, that's it. I am done.
All right. Then we are on Shago, who immediately shakes off the sleep, jumps up, grabs his stuff, and will stab straight away at the ghoul north of Zola. Shago. Here we go. First thing he's going to do, shield bash. 22 is going to hit the ghoul, and it's going to knock it prone. Well, the creature needs to roll a save. So let me do the damage first. Oh no, that's Shago's save. There we go. So the ghoul drops instantly. At which point he will stab it twice with the spear. Both attacks hitting, and as the second attack comes in, the creature screams out in pain as it is impaled deep into the ground. Its dark blood just pooling around it. That is Shago's turn. He will then turn, shield at the ready, spear aimed towards the one west of Carmen. We have a ghoul that will step forward to this position. He has 3 creatures he can face off with. So he's turning to Carmen. And with a heavy claw, the ghoul is going to rake at Carmen. That'll be 20 to hit.
That hits.
As you are prone. So 6 points of slashing damage, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw. Okay, you managed to save from that, so no ill effects, which is good.
Why did a thing just appear on...
I've put it on you because you are prone.
Oh, got it. Cool.
It's to help me remember who is prone and who isn't.
Slashing damage.
Okay. Next up is the one immediately south of you. He's going to keep focusing in on you. Yep. He will claw attack you, Greco. That is an 18 to hit you.
It well, I'm assuming my shield's not active at this point if I was sleeping, or would I have taken it out? I don't know how much time we would have had
really
to.
have the time to grab, because they were right on you when the alarm was triggered.
So that hits then.
Okay.
So roll my con.
7 points of slashing, and you need to roll a con save. Okay, you're fine with the con save.
Great.
No ill effects there. And then that one is dead. So Zola, what would you like to do?
Stand up.
Okay.
And then move 10 feet here. Attack this
Okay.
one.
Go ahead and strike out. With an 18, that will definitely hit. Cuts in with 7 points of slashing damage.
Add an 11 to that.
Okay.
Sneak attack.
Anything else?
And I will get it with my dirt too.
Okay. With the backhand, come in. The extra 2 points of damage is a lot, but not quite enough to kill.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll take my 5 feet full movement there.
All right. That ghoul to the west of Carmen couldn't attack you because you're a swashbuckler, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah. So instead, he is going to focus on Carmen since she is down. Attacking again with advantage. That's a 20 to hit.
Hits.
So that's another 8 points of slashing damage. And I need a Constitution save from you.
Nope.
I'll use luck.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to use the 16 or the 1?
Definitely 16.
Okay. All right. You save from the effects.
It's technically a 19.
Oh, it's a 19.
Yes. I know it's a 19, but I'm just like
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
a 16 or a 1 rather than a 19 and a 4. Okay. So that one fails. It misses. It will shuffle forward ever so slightly to there. Gregory will stand up and just nice and simple Eldritch Blast. Just straightforward, he'll Eldritch Blast the one near Zola. So 17 will hit, and it will break apart the ghoulish form of that one. That'll be him done. Carmen.
I'm gonna stand up.
Okay, that's half your movement to stand up.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to cast. Shatter.
Okay. Where are you casting Shatter?
I would like to cast it so that I get both these down here. So ideally, it's a 10 feet radius. So I'm thinking if I pull it around there, it would just clip those two and it won't. I'm trying to not hit myself or Greco.
Okay. So a position like that, you're trying to go for these two
Yeah.
and aim it so that you don't. Okay. All right. So with Shatter, they get to make Constitution saves. Am I right?
Yes.
What's the spell save DC?
It's a dex save.
No, Shatter is a Constitution save.
My page is
Against 3d8 thunder damage.
Yeah, I was thinking about something else there. So,
Fair enough. So con saves, I have a natural 20 and a 17.
press that one.
press that. Go down to your page. Go to 4.
My page is that
Yeah,
one there.
you got shadow.
Yeah.
You're not connecting?
I am. Well, I'm not connecting.
It could be Roll20 system. It could be a number of things.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, no, my fault. It's all good. Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So both ghouls managed to save from the damage, only taking half damage at 4 points of thunder damage. Anything else from you, Carmen?
No, that's it.
Okay. Tower, you are paralyzed. So at the end of your turn, you get to make another Constitution saving throw.
Can I wild shape, please? Reading the conditions, a paralyzed creature is incapacitated. An incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions, but I can wild shape as a bonus action.
Can you have
The
both?
creature automatically fails strength and dexterity throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Any attack that hits the creature, a critical hit. So it doesn't say anything about not using a bonus action.
This is a bonus action, actually.
I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to move or anything to create that thing.
I would say yes, you can do it, but your wild-shaped form would also be incapacitated. And
Oh,
paralyzed.
absolutely. I'm not denying that, but yeah. But that's a bonus action on the one. So
Okay.
you're a brown bear. Obviously.
You and the bear.
You and the bear.
Brown bear has the added benefit of having a 16 for its Constitution score,
Oh, absolutely.
and being.
That was almost intentional.
All right. So you shift into the form of a brown bear almost instinctively, still paralyzed though.
Absolutely.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be googling that like crazy. No,
the
fair
rules,
enough.
they
The
say.
rules is written. It specifies actions or reactions. Why wouldn't it also specify bonus actions? So go ahead and roll a Constitution save. Oh, you have done. It's an 18. That is a save.
All right.
Okay. Greco, it's
All
your
right.
turn.
I will first stand up and Now I know you can draw an item as part of your move. Could I draw my shield and my sword, or would I have to pick one of them to draw?
You draw it as part of your attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so could I? Because I want to draw the shield, but I'm not going to attack. I'm going to cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Okay. Do you have the Warcaster feat?
No.
No.
But
then you will be unable to cast somatic components whilst wielding a shield and a weapon.
Well, the sword has the gem that we said would allow me to, that replaces those components. But I'm not, since I don't think I could do.
It replaces material components.
Oh, when we
we did
prior,
talk about it beforehand. You could wave it like a glow stick and it would still do the right stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if I can draw both in this turn, so I was planning on just the shield and keeping the sword sheathed and drawing it on the next turn, but casting protection from all that on myself.
Okay.
So let me click that and all. And so that would be against these undead, the meanies.
Okay, so any undead creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against you.
And I have advantage on any saving throws against them if they do hit me.
Absolutely. Anything else from you, Greco?
No, I don't think I have any bonus. Yeah, no, nothing else from me.
Okay. Back up to the top of the round, Aluando.
Aluando is going to fly towards the mouth of the cave, staying at 15-20 foot altitude.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it? Okay. The ghoul that is Nair is going to step in towards Averine and attack Averine. That is a 18 to hit you.
I will react with shield.
Okay.
So it's a miss.
Then your turn, Averine. What are you going to do?
I will take some steps back and probably provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yes, you will. Ghoul will claw at you with a 23 to hit.
That would hit.
Okay. You will take 10 points of slashing damage.
Yowza.
Yep. And I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Nope. Syntax error.
Oh no. What are you rolling?
I was trying to roll a Constitution. I did it again. Alright, so 1d20 plus 4. 21.
That's really weird. Could it be?
Is it because
it's because you had the global modifier of saving throws ticked, but nothing in there.
Typed it. Okay. So.
Yep.
All right.
So I'll keep it deactivated, and you're fine. All right. So you rolled a 21. You're fine.
Okay. So now that I am far away, I will. Oh, I have to also roll a con save.
How did you have a +4 on that?
The bless. I'm blessed.
Ah, right. Because you rolled a d4 for bless. Fair enough.
So I do have to make a concentration check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's because I put a curly bracket instead of a... Okay, so concentration. I have concentration.
Yeah, natural 20, you're fine.
All right, and then I firebolt with the 15, do fire damage against this guy.
The fire explodes against his body for 5 points of fire. Anything else, Averine?
Stay back, you evil creature! Do not touch me or my friends. And that's it.
Okay. Shargo will look at you confused, but how can you kill them if they stay back? As he charges right up forward towards the one that you were attacking. Ooh. Didn't want to go that far. And he will shield bash, which will miss. And then instead, poke it twice with a stick. First attack hitting, second attack missing. For 7 points of piercing damage.
If the creature's prone, he had advantage on the second attack as well.
He didn't get the prone effect.
Okay.
Yeah. The shield bash attack missed. Right. Then we have a couple ghouls. We have the one south of Carmen. Still with 3 creatures that look nice and tasty. It's going to go for Carmen. So slashing away with the claws. That is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
I'll use my reaction to use my shield to hopefully help block. So put disadvantage on it.
Okay. You cannot do that retroactively.
Do I not?
No, it's
not
after.
Disadvantage
It's-
anyway, because I'm surrounded by friends.
The ability, which ability are you referring
It's
to?
the protection fighting style.
Nice.
Let's see. It doesn't say either way. Okay. It says just when a creature you see targets someone other than you that's within 5 feet, you can use reaction to impose disadvantage. So I guess if that's something that has to be done before, then that's fine.
Yeah. There is very specific wording multiple times throughout the player's handbook and such things. Targeting is when they initially start the attack. Hitting is after, obviously, the resolution. So you can, when it has situations like this with the targeting, you can do all of those things, but up until the point where you know it hits. From that point on, you're not going to be able to.
Cool. Understood.
So 4 points of slashing damage. If an 18 did hit Carmen.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, and then a Constitution saving throw, please. All right, you're perfectly fine with that. Next one is the ghoul that is south of Greco. Is going to attack Greco. With its claws, a 22 to hit.
Was that with the disadvantage?
For what reason does it now have disadvantage on you?
I
So no
cast
protection.
it.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, no, fair enough. The disadvantage is 13, so it
That
misses
misses. Yeah.
quite clearly. Right, Zola, what would you like to do?
Run up there and be like, Carmen, I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. And then I'm going to attack it. I will...
With a solid swing, are you doing anything with that? Because it's a 24.
Oh, because, yeah, okay, never mind. Forgot, I'm blanking.
Okay. And you're a rogue. Sneak attack. Okay. The creature is looking very weak after that attack. Anything else from you?
I got it with my dirk as well. Same 13.
Dirk.
So.
Yep. And 3 points is... Oh, no. Do you get to add the... No, you did that right. There's no damage modifier. Okay. So with 3 points of damage, that will kill the ghoul. 2 ghouls left to go. Anything
I'll
else,
stay put.
Zola? Okay.
I'll stay here.
Okay. I accidentally deleted Gregory, but he would be next. Just simple Eldritch Blast. Not going to go anything too complicated with him, but that's going to miss. Carmen, what would you like to do?
I would like to. I'm just going to cast Shatter again. But I'm going to cast it here, so I just get this ghoul down the bomb.
Yep. So Constitution save from the ghoul.
Yep.
Which it rolls a natural 1. How much damage does it take?
Eight.
Okay. Powerful hit. Does anything else happen to it when it fails? Nope, just that. Okay. The creature shudders a little bit, but bones break, but it doesn't care. It's still alive. Anything else from you, Carmen?
Okay, no, that's it.
Okay. Tower.
Gonna roll over. Now I can move a little bit freer. I'm gonna lash out at the one that hit me. Is it this one, top?
Yes.
Yeah, alright, I'm gonna lash out at that one.
Okay. You're standing up first.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go with the bite attack.
The 15 will hit. With 9 points of piercing damage, that ghoul is hurt. Not quite dead, but badly hurt.
Alright, I'll follow up with a claw attack.
Okay.
Come on. Nope.
10's going to miss.
You
Can I
do
get
You
something?
are technically blessed, so go ahead and roll the
Yeah, I was
d4.
asking if I can't remember if I got blessed this morning, so no, plus 1, 2, 4. That's not going to do it. Okay.
Greco.
Oh, and I will bonus action rage.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to, for my turn, I'm going to inflict wounds on the ghoul right in front of me. I'm gonna, since my shield has the holy symbol emblazoned on it, I'm gonna try to like reach out, grab it, and just like shove it against the holy symbol to inflict wounds on it.
Okay.
Hopefully. Son of a mother frickin'.
You have advantage. You're fine.
Oh, I do have advantage. Do I? I don't know if it gives me advantage on attacks. I think it just gives me. I think it gives them disadvantage.
You have advantage because of flanking.
Am I flanking this one?
Oh wait, no,
I'm
that's
not
the dead
flanking
one.
this
Not
one.
the one
no.
south of him, no.
Well, son of a crap. All right. Well, that didn't work.
Unfortunately, as you reach out to grab it and try to do it, in your mind, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, as you reached out, you knocked it a little bit off balance. You missed.
Darn. Okay. So it goes.
Anything from Aluando?
Does he see anything coming from? No. Okay. he's
No,
fine.
there's no other dangers as of right now.
And he will stay flapping happily.
Okay. Then the ghoul, next to Shargo and Tower, is going to focus on Shargo with a natural 1. That's going to miss. Averine, what are you going to do?
I'll continue to firebolt that beastie.
Okay.
21.
That will definitely hit, and with the 1 point of fire damage, you toast that guy.
It wasn't an impressive firebolt because it's all damp in here and whatnot. But that's it.
But it was perfectly targeted. Hit just the right spot.
I'll also move 30 feet.
Okay. Shargo will turn. Stop killing them. I would like to get that. At which point, he's going to mount the bear. Tower, do you accept the mounted combat rules?
He's a bit ragey.
True.
He's a bit annoyed. This was their watch. I think he's aware of that.
Okay. If not, he will jump right off.
To be honest, I'm gonna have to roll my own wisdom check for that.
Okay, fair enough.
No, he's not gonna allow it.
Allow it. Okay, then he'll realize you're not comfortable with this, and he'll jump off and slide around to attack the ghoul. The last one standing. So shield bash attack will hit, kills the thing, it falls down, he then stabs it twice just to be safe, kills it even more as the last of the ghouls falls, leaving you all once again alone in a quiet cave.
Where the hell did they come from?
It was a
is on
surprise
watch?
to me.
Oh, I'm gonna pick up a stone and throw it at Shargo's head.
Roll a dexterity check. Just straight up dexterity check.
What's the dexterity save?
Oh, sorry, wrong one. Which one? That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yes.
All right.
Alright. The little stone will hit the side of his head. Okay. I am sorry. It was my fault. Better sleep on the job.
Can Tower look and see where the possible footprints, or whether they come from inside the mine or outside the cave?
They came from inside the mine.
We can see that pretty clearly.
You can see that pretty clearly.
Can I do a perception check to sort of wander down the back end of the cave and smell to see if there's anything else coming?
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
What's the bear smell perception check?
Mm-hmm.
Does have advantage because
You sniff around, you catch the scent of undead, and you kind of follow it a little bit. You even follow a little bit of the tunnels and things. The scent seems to be coming from a portion of the mine structure that seems a lot older, a lot more broken down, less cared for. But you don't sense any immediate additional danger right now. You could continue exploring through, but if you were to go too much further, then you're going to break your long rest.
I'm gonna calm down and change back. There's an undead presence further into the mine. I can smell the rot of the corpses down there. We wish. How bad's the storm?
It's pretty bad. If it continues on like this, you're going to be in a bad situation until it lets up, really. But you can't see an end to it as of right now.
I suggest no one falls asleep this time. On watch. Eyes on Shargo more than anyone.
Hey, it came out of nowhere. Just
That's because
Right.
you opened your eyes.
as everyone beds down for
I
the next. Yeah.
I'm gonna. Is the lightning going out? Up. I'm gonna gesture to Carmen. Look, I do only the Devilman impression. I am Gregory.
Very well done.
Before we go down for the next set of sleep and rest watch cycles, I'm going to do a prayer of healing for everyone, just so anybody who was injured in the fight gets some healing back, just in case we are rudely awakened yet again. So whoever wants it can get on in.
Thank you.
I'd also like.
Oh, sorry, up to 6, but I think that would be anybody who wants it in our context.
I'd also like to run around and chop all the heads off of the creatures.
I was going to ask about. No. Stop. I was going to ask about the heads.
Yep.
Surely you
so-
just cut them off while they're fresh?
Yes, Shargo has lined them all up. He intends to dispose of the bodies, and if you would like to take the heads, then they're all nice and neatly lined up for you. Who's taking the heads, and how are you storing them?
I think Tower was going to keep them in a constant state of chill. That was the
Tower's gonna
never-ending cycle.
He'll take his great sword out, which is yet to unsheath, and start taking heads off, and then he'll are they got any kind of clothing that you could patch together to sort of form some sort of bag, or I'm gonna have to use my actual rucksack?
You'll have to use your actual bag. Now,
Okay.
granted, if you wanted, you could skin them, tan the leather, and turn them into your own bag.
Very industrious.
Are we good? It's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna make another bag at some point.
So, mark down on your inventory somewhere that you now have 5 ghoul heads.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Okay.
I'll soak him outside a little bit, and then.
Okay.
It'll be a
You're
good
going to
thing
need
to
to
watch.
keep these 5 heads separate from any additional heads you go with. While you will be making efforts to preserve them and make sure they don't get too bad, they will slowly begin to deteriorate. As a result, like if you kept them for too long, they could start attracting creatures. So I'm going to be tracking these 5 heads separately from any subsequent heads. Okay.
Maybe we should think about other trophies. Heads could be a figurative thing, you know?
Or we could put them in a bag and bury them and come back to them on our way back. Or something.
So how does the prayer of healing work? Sorry, Krakow? Does that just like we'll all get 14 points each?
Anybody, it's for 6 targets, but I don't think more than 6 of us got injured. So whoever is within, I mean, it's a wide enough range where everybody who wants it gets 14 health back.
That's cool.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Then, as you guys continue on with the rest, having disposed of the bodies, though the body parts will be burned and destroyed, the heads will be collected. We will go ahead and take a break. Now, as I mentioned previously, everyone, watch out for tonight's Who's That Monster? Write in the chat what you think the monster is for today, and at the end of it, we'll see who was successful. So, be back in 15 minutes, okay? Okay, welcome back, everyone. And the answer to the Who's That Monster is a yellow musk creeper. So, no messages this time. Pay attention in the future, as we will have more. And as we have finished this one, we would like to just point out to everyone that the session that we reach 100 followers, the person who guesses the Who's That Monster correctly will be in the running for a giveaway specifically for you guys. So get us those followers and keep watching the sessions to watch out for this Who's That Monster. And
Aaron,
we'll see.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
Oh no!
For some reason, our break music is still playing in my headset, and I imagine on stream. So give me one moment. Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're good. I hope you all understood and heard everything I said. If not, I'll say it again next week. So, welcome back. Right. Still in the middle of the night. Shargo and Zola finish off their watch. No dangers, no ill effects. Who do they pass their watch over to?
Yeah.
I'm not taking a watch with that horned fiend, so I'll take the next watch.
I was planning on Greco taking the morning watch so he could prepare food without bothering people and have what kind of meal is possible to put together
Isn't the
in
next
this
watch
area.
the morning watch?
The next watch is the 3rd, and then you have the 4th.
Oh.
Yep.
So I guess I will wake up Everine.
Okay. Averine, roll me a perception check, please.
My character sheet seems to have gone missing. So give me one moment. Boop.
It's a quest in and of itself, to find oneself. Alright. That's okay. The 13 is for you, the pseudo-dragon. Yep, because the pseudo-dragon will be perceiving with you. So, as you are keeping watch, the rain dies down for a moment, briefly. The storm is still going on outside, but it has lessened somewhat. But no other ghouls or creatures come crawling out of that hole. Do you set up your alarm again?
Does it go away?
I believe it has a time limit to it. Otherwise, I think it doesn't go away.
It lasts for 8
So you
hours.
wait.
So, yeah. I will.
Fair enough. Okay. And it's not concentration either, is it?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Then the alarm stays up, and nothing happens over your watch. You then pass over to Greco as Greco is doing the last watch. Greco, perception check from you, please.
Absolutely.
Okay. As you're watching, the sun is rising off in the distance, but it is muted. The light in the cave is still quite dim. The rain is still happening. It's not nearly as heavy as it was during the storm. There's no thunder or lightning, at least, that you can see, but the rain is coming down badly. So as you all wake up, refreshed, everyone has gained the benefits of a full, long rest. And I know I set up those long rest buttons for you, but they're probably not going to work because the API isn't set to allow players to manipulate it. So I will make that change later. And I'll remember to do that. So, on the morn, in the situation, what would you guys like to do? Greco has breakfast ready to go.
Yes.
The rain is still
Bug
coming
paste?
down.
So whatever I could find that wasn't undead flesh paste. So yes, probably bug paste.
Should we look for some of those herbs and plants that help preserve the undead flesh?
That might be in our best interests to do, if we'll be carrying around such rotting, distasteful shells of former life.
Just go
Can you,
freeze it, freshly freeze it this morning.
can anybody explain what those plants look like?
Shago, you're the guide, and it was your boss who tipped us off to these things. Surely you know what she's talking about.
I guess. Yes. Perhaps I could go out and look for them, but it might be hard with the rain. But of course we could look.
Is it
Always
still
look.
raining?
Still raining. The rain is pretty heavy, but nowhere near what it was during the torrential storm. The sunlight is muted as there is a permanent cloud just across the land right now. But there's no thunder and lightning going on.
Okay. Tower is really enjoying the bug paste, by the way. Just so you know. Nobody else may appreciate it, but Tower really does.
It's not terrible.
Just like my mum used to make.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoy
Is
it.
your mom also a turtle?
No, but we forage, and when foraging is all bugs are good to eat.
They're good energy, and they're plentiful in this world.
Full of protein.
Indeed.
Tower, did you say that there are more ghouls farther into the mine? Is that what your bear form was trying to communicate?
I'm pretty sure it was my current form that was trying to communicate this, but yes. As the bear, I can smell, have the sense of this creature. The smell of the dead is emanating further into the mine.
Well, we should go investigate. The weather's poor outside anyway. We might as well have some fun.
Shago, you are very interested in keeping us from not going into this mine. Now that our hunt leads us in this direction, what say you now?
I can understand your reasons for wanting to go into the mine, and I can support that. This is the job that Liara has asked you to take on, so I will help you in the mines. But please, do not take anything from the mines.
Just imagine her face when you say you cleared out her mines that were infested with these things.
I'm sure she would be grateful. Yes.
Shago,
Yep.
you're so
Yes.
cautious about us entering the mines. Why is that? Is there more than just these ghouls? Are there more dangers that lurk deep within that we should be worried about?
I am more worried about the perception of things. We were going to Mesro, and we were hunting for ghouls. I don't think they were expecting us to be searching through the mines. And the last thing I would like, is for us to stumble across something I'm not expecting, that we shouldn't see.
Well, not to ask a contradictory question, but what do you expect you might not expect?
T-Rex.
In the mines.
Unfortunately, with my current rank within the group, I am not permitted access to the mine myself. So, if we uncover something that I should not see, and do not have good cause or reason, then I might be in trouble.
On the other hand, if you absorb that information and handle it wisely, then it could bump you up some ranks.
True. Especially if there
problems.
are ghouls in there, and that is the job we were asked to do.
So I am noticing that he's concerned about finding something he shouldn't find as a flaming fist, but his real job is supposed to find something as a representative of Xanthi. So does Averine pick that up?
Yes, Averine picks that up. With that insight check, Averine picks up that he seems a little bit too concerned about his standing within the Flaming Fist to actually be a genuine spy for someone within the Flaming Fist. Just more little evidence.
Averine will remember this.
As you guys are getting ready, Shago will approach Averine. I hope you are okay this morning. I am very sorry about falling asleep on the watch last night, and I am very grateful that your spell was there to be able to wake us all up. I'm sure that if you had not cast that spell, we would all be dead right now, or at least paralyzed and being eaten by the ghouls. I have a question to ask, and I mean this with no offense at all. I'm just curious. It seemed that your alarm spell was a little late. Now, it was better than me because I fell asleep. Do not get me wrong there. I was wondering if there was a way to maybe make it bigger. Is there a way to make it bigger?
First of all, you should not be apologizing to just me. All of us were at peril for your carelessness.
I understand that.
But it's good that you recognize my worth and the power and the benefit that magic has. So I recognize your approval for this. I cannot make the area larger. I can ward certain areas like a door or an entrance. But seeing as we had two entrances to concern ourselves about, the entrance to the cave and the entrance into the mine, I couldn't just decide one or the other. So 20 foot in a square is the best I can muster.
And how many of these alarms can you create? Just the one?
Well, I guess that's a good point. I could, or it's not a concentration spell, so I could potentially cast multiple alarms. Is that your reading as well?
Mechanically speaking, yes. You can. There's no limit to the amount. The only limit to the amount of alarms you can cast is the amount of first level spell slots you have. All right, but obviously you can upcast as well. So
I cast it as a ritual, so as not to use spell slots. So
then there is no limit to the amount of alarms you can create.
The limit does not exist.
The ritual to create the alarm takes 10 minutes, or a length of time that is not trivial. I do not wish to waste my evenings just going along casting alarm spells all over the place.
Of course, that makes sense. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insinuate. That's a big word for a Chilton. I did not mean to make it seem like you were not doing good enough. You did better than I did. I was just asking. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, into the mines we go.
Is that what we're doing today?
Might as
If
well.
that's what you want to do, you can go out into the jungle if you wish, or you can go into the mines.
It's kind of shocking.
I just want to kind of gauge it before like he prepares his spells for the day. I'm going to kind of say I'm meditating to do it. So I don't really know. Mechanically, how do you want? Like I prepare them in the morning, but mechanically, how do you want me to do that? Do you want me to just say I've got them before we decide something, or do I have to meditate and prepare?
Mechanically, you prepare the list of druid spells that are available for you to cast. You can change your list of prepared spells when you finish a long rest. Preparing a new list of druid spells requires time spent in prayer and meditation, at least 1 minute per spell level for each spell on your list.
So I have to meditate.
So you have to meditate, but it can be done after gaining the full benefits of a long rest.
Yeah. So all right. So can I just sit down in meditation? If we decide to go into thinking, I'm just going to go through that and change as well.
All right. Fair enough. Anything else before you traipse around in the mines?
I'll be casting light on my shield so as to provide us a light source as we walk through these caves. Does anyone object?
Okay. That'll help everyone to be able to see. The light cantrip gives you 40 foot of light, right? 20 foot bright, 20 foot dim.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think I might light one of my torches too, so that we have we can kind of split and have more range.
And is it difficult to get back up from the mines to where we're at all?
It didn't seem too difficult. The way that the formation of the passage has grown is fairly natural, or at least the rocks are broken out in that way. It's more useful as a hidden spot than blocking passage, so you should be able to get up and down without too much trouble. Working together as a group, it'll be easy. Okay. Then let us go. And the mine shafts, as they are 15-foot wide, 15-foot tall shafts and tunnels. Very square, very straight. The rocks and the stones in the mountains are cut out quite carelessly with pickaxes and shovels and the like, but the struts are regular enough that it keeps its form and shape protectively. Making your way through, Shargo is going to be attempting to track the ghoul footprints, but what are the rest of you going to be doing?
I'll aid him, so he'll have advantage on that.
Okay.
Mm,
25. Nice. All right. Anything else that people would be doing to help track for the ghouls? Shargo is focusing on their footprints.
Can we do like just perception checks now and then, or?
Yeah, I'm more like just focusing on thematically.
Yeah.
Are you just walking behind him as he goes, or what is it you're going to be looking out for?
I'm going to be looking out if there's any markings on the walls or any stains of blood or anything that just doesn't look right, that shouldn't be there. That's
Okay. All right, roll a perception check. Anything else that people would be doing?
I think also actually, whoever is at like the front of our march, I'm just going to, as I'm aiding. Well, I guess would it be Shago at the front? If he's
unless someone objects, yes.
Yeah, then I'm going to be just kind of casting and recasting resistance on him. So if we do come across a situation where he would need the blessings of Kelemvor, since he is aiding in the destruction of the undead, and that's a concentration cantrip. It adds a D4 to a saving throw of their choice within a minute. And I think once it's expended once they use it. So just kind of, I'll be muttering prayers in Aquan to kind of guide over us and also bestow resistance onto Shago.
Okay. Shago will remark that singing sounds nice.
Oh, thank you. It also involves me touching him once every minute. So I might at first just like awkwardly graze him, so it doesn't look like I'm. So it's not as it wouldn't be as apparently awkward as me actually touching him. But if he were to comment on that at some point, I would just explain and touch.
He rolls a 20 on an insight check to see if there is anything else behind that touch.
Which touch? The awkward bumping or the actual?
Just your repeated, hey.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much he understands about magic, but it's just that. There's no ulteriors. Just helping him out since he's helping us out.
Okay. All right. Then he will keep moving forward. Your perception check, Carmen.
Yeah.
As you're looking around and you're following the tracks, one thing that you do pick up on is as Shargo is following these tracks, the passages that you're taking are becoming less and less mined. The walls are becoming a lot more natural rather than man-formed in their shape. More outcroppings here and there. The further down you go, the more you have to maybe, move out of the way of that rock. There's a bit there and a bit there. It's unclean. But then there gets to a point where you just crosses your gaze for a moment. Makes you make a double take. You see something small and white attached to the side of the stone. It just kind of glints in the light. Do you look at it closer?
Yeah, I would do.
Okay. As you approach this little white piece of material seems to be sticking out of the stone somewhat. You look with the light around it. There's a couple more. There's 2 or 3 more just a little bit further down the stone, and red markings behind them. Roll any intelligence-based skill check.
That's not good.
Howdy, folks from Ridvan. Howdy.
Should I do Arcana? I'm gonna do an Arcana.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll do an
Okay.
Arcana check.
Right. Unfortunately, you...
Can I do luck?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and roll a d20.
Thank you.
So quick. Nah, it's my fault.
Got
Quick with that.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, the D20. There we go. That's better.
17, adding your 5, that's 22. Yeah. Okay. That is... using arcane knowledge is a little bit tricky here. One thing you do detect and check when you're looking at this, there is nothing arcane about this. It is all 100% natural.
Oh.
Very natural, in fact. The material is nail. In fact, these white things in the edge of this rocky outcropping here are nails semi-stuck into the rock with blood trailing behind them.
Ooh.
Nails like nails or nails
Fingernails.
like nails? Okay.
Fingernails.
Oh. Which direction are they being dragged? The blood trail.
The blood trail is headed towards the direction you guys are headed.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to nudge Greco and just go,
Yes. Hello.
hi. Take a look at the wall there.
I'm assuming, would he notice immediately upon being directed to
Yes.
it? Okay.
Being told to look at this, you would notice the humanoid nails embedded into the rock.
Well, it seems like we're going in the right direction, so I guess we should march forward.
The right direction. The right
Well,
direction.
We're here to hunt the ghouls,
Okay.
and if there's any sign of a ghoul, it's that. But
Do you
if it
think
was
a ghoul would have caused that? Or
well,
maybe something a bit bigger?
a ghoul certainly could have caused that. But if it would ease your mind, I'll extend my sights a little further, and I'll do the Eyes of the Grave to see if there's any undead within 60 feet. It's not a huge range, but
Okay. Are you able to see any that are behind full cover?
no.
No.
Well, let me make sure. It's my. I'm gonna read it to make sure, but I don't think so. That isn't behind total cover, and that isn't protected from divination. Well, it says that behind total cover and isn't protected from divination magic. So maybe if it's one or the other, it's okay.
Because they're going to be that specific. No,
Well,
unfortunately, you don't sense any undead in the area. Or at least within the 60-foot radius.
Right. Well, from my detection, there are no undead local near us, at least that aren't completely hidden. So my vote is to continue digging deeper to find what we're looking for.
Instead of charging into a potential ambush, what if we made some noise and brought them to where we are? Or is that way too risky?
Oh.
Are we still in
What's-
the corridor?
Yeah, are we in a good space to fight right now if we had to?
You're in a 15-foot wide, 15-foot tall, straight corridor. Every 70 to 100 foot, there's another shaft that crosses it perpendicular. But that's about it.
So this might be a good spot to hold up, because we can at least we can find a good spot to wall ourselves so we can't get attacked on all sides.
Is there a grade? Are we going up or down?
Generally speaking, you're going down. You're going further and further down. the more natural the caves become, the walls become, the further down you're going.
Hmm.
Anything you guys would do, or are you just going to keep moving?
I think it's not a bad idea to maybe draw them out, but we run the risk of notifying any other baddies that might be down there.
Yeah, I was gonna say if anything comes out at us that isn't ghouls or past a certain number of ghouls, maybe we all just run.
Oh, that's true. We can just turn around and flee, or at least get to a better spot if there's too many of them. Yeah.
How intelligent are these ghouls?
I do not think they are very intelligent.
I have other forms that I can change into. One of them is a great spider.
Ooh.
I could create web for us to trap these beings in.
That could be good.
Maybe we can lure them into web and block them off from us as they walk in, and you can kill them.
No matter what comes out, I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Can you do many other animals?
If I
You
have-
cannot do a sea turtle or a whale.
No. Ah,
I have not seen a whale. I do not know if I can do such a thing.
a sea turtle. He turns to Greco. Are you a land turtle or a sea turtle?
I am not a turtle at all. I am a turtle.
Okay.
Greco stops touching him every minute now.
Stops conferring the guidance or the resistance.
No, he's gonna.
Do we
I have
wish
no
to?
idea what sea turtles make.
Do we
All
wish
right.
to continue, or do we want to make a trap?
Trap.
Trap.
Let's
Strabo
draw the
looks a
beasties
little
to
bit
us.
Saddened at that. Okay.
The ambush
kind
is
of a
always
trap
the
would you
smarter way
like
to
to
go.
Okay, I will turn into a giant spider,
Whoa.
and then I will try and use the web effect to try and create a web in the passage. Let's see.
In the story of Tinsel. Hide us.
Is this rectangle where we would be? Is this the?
That's my quick approximation of a 15-foot wide tunnel.
Neat. And so then that's where it opens up on the other side.
You gotta love my art skills and my
Beautiful.
improv map making skills. All right.
Let's see.
So nearest to you, just a little bit ahead of you, is another one of those break points where the tunnels split. What kind of preparations and traps are you going to make?
Let's see.
Can I? Well, I think we want to bottleneck this, do we not?
Yeah.
So, I was going to try and just put a web blocking that entire entrance.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, I may just stick not full webbing, but across the floor around all the other entrances, not too far in. Just maybe try and make it rough terrain to slow anything down, so we don't get too much pressure, and then put a full blockage on our one. But make it so you can still see us, so that the things can.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Cute.
I've kind of got the impression these are like Walking Dead zombies, and they are running on instinct, so they need to see us. So there's enough temptation, but they're just going.
Averine will use Alawando as a forward scout. So she is going to go
Ugh,
temporarily
that's
deaf and
gross.
blind herself, while Alando stealthily scouts up ahead. That way we have advanced notice if it's something more than ghouls.
Okay. What senses does Alawando have?
Blind sight 10 feet, dark vision 60 feet. His passive perception is 13.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
The giant spider has blind sight 10 feet and dark vision of 6 feet. Just
Sure. So as Alawando flies off and begins to check down the tunnels, there's a point where he notices a bit of mist just in the tunnel ahead of him. As he gets close enough to trigger his blind sight, he notices and stops. This mist is blue. Blind sight is a weird thing in that he can just see it. I'm not sure how his blind sight works, but he notices that this mist is not natural. Would you have him continue on through the mist?
So he will communicate that to the best of his abilities, and Averine sees that. Can Averine take a guess at what it is that he is seeing?
You can make a history check. See if you've seen something like this before and would know what it is. Unfortunately, with a 12, not so much. This is a strange kind of mist. You've heard of the purple mist known as Phaedrus. You've even heard the strange tales about the grey mists of the Shadowfell, but this blue mist is a new one.
So I will be blindly saying to the surrounding party member, my pseudo-dragon has encountered some blue mist. Does anyone know what that is? I cannot for the life of me recall ever hearing any tales of such things.
Can we do history checks?
You can do. Okay. Trying to think of when Carmen could have learned about this. Having a history of just yourself exploring around, you've heard lots of tales. You have heard of the mad monkey fever mists.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. All you know, you don't know everything about them. All you know is that people in the mist tend to go mad
Okay.
if they're not careful.
Okay.
So it's a good idea to avoid this mist when possible.
Okay. Averine, has your pet gone into it, or just looking at it for now?
He's just looking at it for now. Why? What do you
Okay,
know of it?
I don't know a lot, but all I know is don't go in it. I don't think it's like that anyone or anything should be going into right now.
All right. So Averine will communicate to Alawando to just stay and observe, high and stealthy.
Okay. Have him roll a perception check.
His keen senses gives him advantage.
Yep. Okay. He hears down the tunnel with the blue mists a moaning and a shuffling. There's a scraping of something against the stone as something is making its way closer. As the moaning grows, as the sounds become to get sharper through the mist, Alawando can just about make the form of shapes. There are creatures headed this way.
Something's coming. Get ready. Get ready.
Cool. Can I can't control the spider.
You can't control the spider. Let me fix that. Controlled by because that spider is still set up to be the wrong kind of spider. There we go. Should be fixed now.
Cool. Can I just hang out on the ceiling?
Yes, you can. We might want to double check the stats on that token. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, cool. Yep. Okay. So as these creatures start to come into focus, Alawando is able to see that there are 6 ghouls coming through the mist.
There are 6 ghouls coming through the mist.
And then with a heavy thud and a vibration that cascades through the mist and kind of almost separates it, a large creature also steps through.
Additionally, there is a large creature that I have yet to identify.
This large being seems to be of the same sorts of creature as a ghoul, but much bigger and more of its body torn and broken. It's definitely a big, bad ghoul.
Are we still feeling good about this?
There's a very big bad ghoul as well approaching.
Not good.
Should we go?
No, I'm sure that one will be worth even more.
I think we have this. We cannot abandon the mines.
If you say so. I believe in you.
You did lose some to a T-Rex once before.
We cannot abandon the mines? Why?
Because we are here
They're
to kill
abandoned mines!
But we are here to rid the area of the ghouls. These are the ghouls.
Let's stop interrogating my brother and focus. This is game time.
Shaga will step up below the giant spider.
So the front legs of the giant spider guy.
Oh, since he's on the ceiling, we can be below him, I presume, or would that not really work with spacing wise for how big it is?
Yes, you can be below him.
Okay. Just considering. Yeah. I'm going to prepare protection against good and evil to cast on myself once they show up.
Okay.
I would like Alawando to be within 100 feet. We went to a little theater of the mind there, so I'm not sure how far away he is.
Okay. He can get within 100 feet. That's no problem. He'll back up a little bit. You can have him as close as you want. Do you want him right at the 100-foot range, or do you want him much closer?
Is that cross section? Is that an actual cross section of tunnels?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, then I want Alawando to be like there in the cross section of tunnels, and that's within 100 feet. So I'm happy with that.
Fair enough. Then in the distance, you all watch as it seems like the mist is actually approaching you, as it is being forced forward by a mass of ghouls that shamble over one another. What are you guys doing as they come into view? Are you still just waiting?
Are they? So the grade is going down, so they're further down than us, right?
Correct. They are further down than you.
Well, Avery.
Is mist floating on the floor, or is it like covering the entire thing?
It is pretty much filling the entire tunnel, like a wall of mist that's just slowly approaching you.
But we can see them now.
Yes. I wonder if I have blue fog.
How far away are they?
From you, not far. 60 foot. That's
Alright.
That's what your dark vision is.
Yep. I'm gonna fire my web
On them.
Yeah, I can target one of them. Where's the big one? Is it still behind the others?
Yes, it's out of distance for you. So.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. There's a hole misty. I'm gonna shoot my web at one of them to try and see if I can.
Okay. Is that web in front of you still there to try and keep things like in case they come in, it makes it difficult terrain for them? Is that the intention?
The intention is to try and. The intention was that was supposed to be a barrier. It was supposed to block it off, or make it really difficult for them to pass through it.
Okay.
So,
In which case, if you are going to attack these creatures, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
We're upsetting your webs.
Not good.
Yeah. I was going to do that, and you started spitting webs out.
yeah, I'm trying to slow them down.
I know,
Well,
but I was going to,
They're on a slow march. Hit them while they're on a slow march.
Okay. Anyone missing from the turn order? No?
Grigori,
Oh, yeah.
Shago.
Your players. Okay. So, top of the round, who do we have but Shago? Who will sit there and, well, actually, sorry, I shouldn't say top of the round. The person that triggers combat is Tower. So Tower, what are you doing? You're launching the web.
I'm firing another. I've created these web. I'm firing another web. I've got a web charge thing, so I'm just gonna fire that to see if on a single target, see if I can slow it down.
Okay. If you are firing your web
Hmm.
towards them, that would suggest that the web that you have already cast does not block the entire passage. It's just on the ground.
Oh no! As I said, it looks like a web. It's kind of going. My idea was it's coming across as kind of a barricade. You get like shoots of stuff going across, so there might be a visual path through to one of the targets.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're putting yourself right up to the edge of it and trying to fire through the gap in the
Yeah,
web.
it's kind of my web, so I can navigate.
Yeah, just making sure. Just making sure. All right, go ahead and take your shot.
Yeah.
The web. Pretty sure that's actually mechanical, right? Yeah. All right, 25. That'll definitely hit. You
No,
hit the
actually,
creature. Which one?
Is the target restrained by as an action? No, you have to make a DC saving throw a strength check. Sorry, I don't have to roll for it. A wasted natural 20.
No, the 25 you do hit. The creature makes a strength save as an action to try and break out. So immediately, a web wraps around one of the ghouls. Keeps him in place. Anything else from you?
That's cool.
Okay. All right. So, back up to the top of the round, Shago is just going to stay there and wait. waiting for creatures to get close enough. Alright, the ghouls will begin to shift their way further towards you. They have a movement speed of 30 feet, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. With a dash action, it'll move into the webs, and that'll be it. For that one, who's up next? We have another ghoul. We'll shift forward, doing the same thing. Just approaching into the mist. The next one, as the gap appears, the big bad also appears out the corridor.
Mega ghoul.
You can now see the big ghoul in all its entirety as it pokes its head into the light. More ghouls moving forward. Shifting in. And another. Zola.
Is there any way to realistically hide in a tunnel like this?
Yes. There are ways to hide. Particularly, there are 6 other things in this corridor that you could hide behind.
Talking about the people?
Yeah.
Greco would have no problem with you hiding behind him.
I don't. If are
It's
we
a little
doing?
close, but
We're doing cover though, right? So it'd be at
That would-
disadvantage hiding behind someone.
Yes.
Okay. I'll chance it.
Okay. So you're gonna just simply hide behind. Okay. So go ahead and roll a stealth check.
and Greco kind of widens his stance just a little bit, so he takes up more space.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. With a 17, you can feel fairly confident you've probably been at least stealthy enough for these mindless creatures. Anything else from you, Zola?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay.
I'll shoot the one that's right in front of Greco because it's through his legs.
All right.
And sneak attack can apply so long as it's a light or finesse weapon. Is that right?
As long. Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So then I will try the hand crossbow, which doesn't work.
Yeah, unfortunately, that natural one is going to miss.
Okay, that's it for me.
Okay. Would you have hidden after the attack or before the attack?
Before it.
Okay.
Oh, so that would have canceled. It still would have been a 7.
Okay. So then we move to tower. What would you like to do?
Can I roll to see if my web recharges?
Yes, you can.
Nice. I'll fire the web again. I'm going to fire it at the big guy this time.
Okay.
Oh.
It'll miss.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Okay. Then we have some ghouls. Ghoul is going to also shift forward. That'll be it for that. Averine, what are you going to do?
Dragon's Breath is a touch spell, and my familiar can have, as long as it's within 100 feet of me, deliver touch spells. So I'm going to cast Dragon's Breath on my familiar, so that my familiar has Dragon's Breath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grant Alondo a Lightning Breath weapon.
Okay. Fair enough.
That is my bonus action. As an action, I will get to where I can start seeing folks. Looks like I am within range. I'll just throw a firebolt at the first ghoul.
Okay. Go ahead and launch that firebolt. When you say first ghoul,
Oh, sorry.
top row, middle row, bottom row?
Top row.
Top row. Okay. Go ahead and fire your shot. The firebolt will connect. I need you to roll a d20 for me. Just an extra d20.
Oh,
Were you going to say anything?
I was just wondering if you rolled your portents for the day or not, because I don't think we went over that.
I did. One. I'll grab them. Guess we need a 2 and an 8 is what I have.
Okay. In this moment, yes, you launched the firebolt. It connected with the ghoul, burning its flesh. Unfortunately, it also burnt away the web. Okay. Anything else from you, Averine?
No.
That's it.
Okay, and now it is Alolando's turn.
I'm missing from the turn order.
Yeah. She should be next.
I rolled a 9.
Right, okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry.
You gotta select your token first.
Sorry.
Alright, so you are... Okay, go ahead. What are you gonna do?
I am going to cast Shatter,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast it right there.
Okay. Can I have Alawando roll a Constitution saving throw?
What about the bird?
So, I don't think the bird was in range. Sorry.
Okay, it's fine. It rolls a 21.
Cool.
What is the DC of your spell?
You're 14.
14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
We have one success from the ghouls. So go ahead and roll the shatter damage. 7. Okay. All of them but one take 7 points of damage. The last one takes 3.
Does Alando also take 3?
Aloando still takes 3, yes.
Sorry.
Okay. Anything else from you, Carmen?
I'm going to give some inspiration
Okay.
to Zola.
Okay. Zola, you feel inspired.
Inspire you to shoot straight and go for it, girl.
Aloando.
Aloando will move into the middle of the corridor and use the lightning dragon breath. It's a DC 14 dex.
So a 15-foot cone creates that, which will get all of them. Dexterity save. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. DC 14, you say?
Yeah.
Then we have 2 failures and 3 successes. 9 points of damage on a failed save, half on a success. Okay. The 2 that failed are the ones closest to it, so 9 to each of those. The rest take 4. Anything else from the creature?
Aloando will move 50 feet towards the party, and that's it.
Okay. Gregory, just because it's his character, not mine, just gonna sit back, pot shot, Eldritch Blast. Okay, Greco, what would you like to do?
Right. So now I know I prepared the thing before, so that would have triggered the protection from eagles would have triggered when they showed up. So I don't know how many rounds of that would have passed between now and then, but I'm going to cast guiding bolt on the big one.
Okay. A 15 will not hit.
Okay. Well, then otherwise I'm going to stand the ground. There's not a whole lot else to do. Yeah, so I'll just maintain a defensive posture.
Okay. And we have the ghoul that is restrained. It's going to use its action to try and break out of the webbing. It'll make a strength check. It rolls a 15. What's the DC?
12.
Okay, so it breaks free of the webbing as an action, and then will use its turn to move 30 feet forward. As now all of these ghouls have shifted, at the top of the round, so too does the mist.
Uh-oh.
That moves fast.
Yep. Shago, stepping right forward, wants to get in, get out, and be done. So, shield bash will miss. Spear one-handed, sorry, will also miss. Second attack. Finally, his third attack will hit. Unfortunately, not enough to kill. He sees the mist approaching, so he will actually back up and risk attack of opportunity from two of the creatures. Claw attack being a 21 to hit. It's going to hit him. Take 5 points of slashing damage. Needs to roll a con save. Which he's fine with. And then the second slash also going to hit for 10 slashing. He's going to roll another con save. Also fine. Okay. Now we have some ghouls. They're going to work their way forward. Now, the spider's still on the ceiling, right? Okay, so can't reach the spider. Going to go for the turtle.
Turtle power.
That's a 17 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay. Then a companion of his will slide up to this position and attack the turtle.
All right.
That'll be a 22 to hit.
That hits, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but they have disadvantage because of the protection
Okay.
that
Then that makes it a 16.
which misses.
Okay. In which case we have Big Papa Ghoul.
Ugh.
Gonna start shifting forward 30 feet to get to there, and he is going to dash forward right up against the giant spider. Now, being big, he can reach the giant spider. Right. Lesser Ghoul stepping forward to attack Greco.
Yeah.
That is a 20 to hit.
Even with the disadvantage?
At disadvantage, yeah.
That hits.
Okay, 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And I need you to roll a con save.
Yeah. And I'm at advantage for the con save.
Yes.
From the effects of that.
From the effects of protection from good and evil.
I don't know if that mattered, though.
A 13 is good enough.
Right. And what was the
Managed to
damage
shrug off
again?
the effects.
It was
9.
Okay.
Yep. So go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw for the protection from good and evil. It's
Why do
concentration, isn't it?
Oh, you're right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you keep hold of it.
Cool.
Ghoul is just going to approach from the back, not going to be able to get close enough. Zola, what are you going to do?
Been trying to figure out whether or not the hand crossbow is actually strapped to one's hand. I've seen them before, and I know that that's how they are built, but it doesn't say anything about it in the hand crossbow.
I think those are usually just like a handgun but a crossbow version, like a small crossbow instead of like a rifle, I guess.
What would you like it to be, and what's the difference for you?
I don't want to have to drop it and leave it.
Okay. So you're looking for a question of whether or not mechanically you can drop
action
it.
Is there? Yeah.
You can't drop it, and it still be attached to you.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, our lives are worth more, so I will drop it.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, you can draw weapons as an attack.
As part of the attack, yes. Yes,
Let's
you can.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dance up to that big guy. I am
Go
so
for it.
inspired.
Are you going to use your bardic inspiration?
Not yet.
Okay. As you swing in with the saber, it will carve into the flesh of this creature. 11 points of damage. Then the second attack will 16 will miss this creature.
Okay. I'll
Fortunately.
let that ride. All right.
Okay.
And then I'll dance back.
Okay. Tower.
I'm gonna buy it.
Okay.
Buy the big guy.
That looks like it's you don't have advantage, do you?
Not
I
like
don't think so.
Can't
So
hide, right?
unfortunately, that's going to miss.
Such a good roll as well.
I know. Can't think of any good reason to have an advantage, but it's been my roll somewhere.
You're on the ceiling.
But from that vantage point, so is the ghoul from him.
Okay.
Okay.
Bonus action rage.
Okay. The ghoul in the back is going to keep approaching. Can't do much as there's a nice big line in the way. Averine, what are you going to do?
Averine is going to cast Grease. And she's going to put it right below the big guy and above those two other guys.
Okay. So each of those creatures needs to roll a dex save or fall prone. What's the DC?
14.
Got a 17, a 16, and a 13. Okay. So he falls. And lastly, a 12. So he falls. Unfortunately, not the big guy.
That's it.
Okay. Carmen.
I'm going to cast Shatter again.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast it here.
Okay.
So that should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in range.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We have 2 failures once again and 3 successes.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll the damage. Okay.
It's a lot. Nice.
As the creatures have their forms broken.
God damn it, I'll be able to take the heads.
Oh,
Okay. Anything else from you?
I'm going to give some inspiration now to Tower.
Tower.
Mhm.
All right. Alawando.
Can Aloando get his cone of breath to hit both these guys, the small guy and the big guy, if like attacking from above? Okay, yeah, I guess if you put that there, it helps.
So that is the shape of his cone. Okay. So if you're looking to go from above, to try and get all of these 3. Right?
But it looks like that would catch Greco in there, right?
You're in a 15-foot tall space. So strictly speaking, you could do it's really difficult to do a spell in 3D area, but you could aim it if you are directly above this position. You could aim it in such a way that it doesn't hit Greco.
And that's what Alondo will do.
Okay. Go ahead and launch
Right.
the lightning breath. Okay, dexterity saves. From the big guy, I have a 21. From the 2 smaller guys, a 6 and a 3. That's not good. Okay. So those that failed, 9 damage. Kill. The one that succeeded takes half. Takes 4. Okay. You're whittling them down little by little. Anything else, guys?
That purple or blue mist, does it fill the entire volume of the 15 feet?
Mm-hmm.
So can I like sneak by in that corner to?
It fills the full space of a 15. It's not actually just a cube that's 15 foot long. Because it is a mist, it is actually expanding and growing in this situation. So it's filled up to that point. You would have to go through the mist to get there.
Okay, so I won't do that. I'll just take Alawando and go back to behind Averine and Grigori.
Okay. Then it's Grigori. Still focusing on just simple. That will miss the creature. Greco.
All right. I am going to now. All of these have been hurt to some extent. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, they have.
Okay. I am going to. I'm gonna toll the dead on the big one.
Okay.
Big Papa.
Just a saving throw from Big Papa Ghoul. He rolls a 19.
Yeah, that more than beats it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I am going to, seeing that mist approaching, I'm going to risk the opportunity attacks and back up a bit to get better positioning, so I'm not in the line of that.
The chief has disadvantage on the attack because obviously you got that protection from the good. So with disadvantage, that's a 17 to hit.
That misses.
Okay. The other ghoul will use its reaction to attack. That will also be a natural 1. So
Ooh,
that misses.
That certainly misses. Yeah. And I'll use. I'm going to use my bonus action now for the second wind.
Okay.
Oh, that's not programmed in. I'll just roll the d10 here.
Then after you, a ghoul will move through and approach. 5, 10, 15. He'll get to there and attack Shargo.
I'm going to block. Before.
You're going to...
Oh, actually, I'm going to hold that for the big guy. I'm going to wait. Never mind.
Okay. All right.
There should also be the area of grease on the floor that he would have to cross.
Yes, that grease stays where it is. Okay, so dex save. That's a 22, so that's a success. Yeah. Now, I believe that you also have to be within 5 feet of the creature making the attack. Is that right?
It just says within 5 feet of. if when a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, so the target is within 5 feet of you, then you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage.
Yeah, so this creature has to be within 5 feet of you.
No, it says when the target is within 5 feet of you. It says when a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you.
So he's saying that the friendly has to be within 5 feet.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Cool.
But I'm not going to do that right now, actually, because I want to hold on to
later.
it. Yeah.
Speaking of rules clarification, before the break, we had a odd situation where our druid had posed the question of, can you still use a bonus action whilst incapacitated? Since the rules of incapacitated say an incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions. I'll be honest, I didn't know. We said yes, as long as his wild shape was also incapacitated. That is wrong. Flat out wrong. The rules on page 189 of the Player's Handbook do say specifically that any effect that removes your ability to use actions also removes any possible bonus actions. So, just thought you might like to know. Public service announcement. All right. That was that creature. It rolls a 16 to hit Shargo, which will hit for 9 points of slashing damage. Shargo needs to roll a con save. Shargo is paralyzed.
Not good.
Not good at all. It is Shargo's turn. He can't do anything. He has to make the con save at the end of his turn. Which he makes. He's fine. But that's the end of his turn. At the beginning of the round, though, the mists moved forward another 35 feet.
It was faster than I thought it was moving.
Okay. As it does so, it envelops all of you that have moved into that area. So, I need a a Constitution saving throw from the Spider, Greco, Zola, Carmen, and Shargo.
Now, I am curious. The protection protects against effects created by a whole bunch of different types of creatures. So I don't know if this could count. Aberrations, Celestials, Elementals, Fays, Fiends,
It's
Dead.
Technically not created by.
Okay, cool.
So
If inspiration went to tower, does my inspiration leave?
No.
I'm going to use it for this if I can.
okay. Okay, so do I have everyone's? I've got... Okay, so yours is a 5, Zola? Okay. So I've got a 5. Carmen is fine. Giant Spider is fine. Greco, unfortunately, you fail. Shargo fails. Zola fails. So the 3 that fail, you become infected with Mad Monkey Fever.
That sounds fun.
Okay. The infected creature gains a random form of long-term madness.
Oh.
Long term, he said.
Long-term.
All right.
Long-term is works a little bit different than what you might expect. So bear with me one moment while I pull up the long-term madness. And there's madness. There we go. So, madness effects. A long-term madness. I need each of you to roll a D100.
Ooh.
Madness scale.
Where is it?
You're all crazy. No, I didn't get affected.
These odds have just not been. These automated rolls are not great today.
So I have Zola. Oh yeah, I've got to roll for Shargo. What am I thinking? Let me roll for Shargo. Okay, so bear in mind that these effects will not manifest and there will be no evidence of these effects for the next 3 hours. Okay?
All right.
Zola. The character feels compelled to repeat a specific activity over and over, such as washing hands, touching things, praying, or counting coins. Okay? I will, after the session, I'll read it out to you again. Unfortunately, that will last 50 hours. That you will be compelled to repeat that task over and over again for that time. Who's up next? Greco. Same thing.
Okay.
The character feels compelled to repeat a specific activity over and over, such as washing hands, touching things, praying, or counting coins. And until you can get rid of the madness, obviously, you two will be unable to rest or do anything else during that time. You've got 3 hours before you are affected by it. And lastly, Shargo. The character regards something, usually the source of madness, with intense revulsion, as if affected by the antipathy effect of the antipathy or sympathy spell. Okay, so that's not going to come into effect just yet. So, as the mad monkey fever takes hold, we have some ghouls. I believe I have a ghoul under here that's still alive. Yep, going to shift forward and attack Shargo, who is paralyzed.
Oh, no.
So attacking him will be an automatic crit.
He saved when on his turn against the paralysis.
Oh yeah, he did on his turn. He did. No, fair enough. So it's just prone. So advantage is a 21 to hit, which will hit. He'll take 5 points of slashing damage and then needs to roll con save. And is paralyzed again.
At the end of the ghoul's turn, with the grease, he still has to save versus being prone.
He rolls an 11.
Fails.
Okay, so the ghoul drops prone. The ghoul to the west of Shargo, seeing that Shargo is now paralyzed, will attack him. If it hits, it's a crit. It's a 19, which will hit, which means it's a crit. So an extra 2d4. Okay. Right. And then con save while he's already paralyzed. Lastly, big Papa Ghoul is going to strike out at the giant spider. Mano a mano. That will be a 20 to hit. Okay. As the huge claws rip into you, you will take 15 points of slashing damage.
Halved?
Oh yeah, because you're raging, so halved down to 7. And then I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Be the good one, be the good one.
Fine. After that, he will strike out with a bite attack on you. 21 to hit.
Yeah.
For an additional 10 points of piercing, half down to 5.
Yeah.
Zola, what you gonna do?
Gotta save the brother. I'll be attacking the one that's already prone.
Okay, you have advantage on the attack.
There you go, it's a 19.
Yep, that will hit. That will kill it, actually. More than enough. There's one dead ghoul.
And where is the grease? Is that a 10 by 10 or is it a 5 by 5?
It's a 10 by 10, and the big guy should have rolled again.
Yep. Dexterity save. 19.
Saves.
Okay.
So it's not right here.
Correct.
Okay. then yes, I will slip in and start attacking the guy that's in front of me.
Unfortunately, a 12. Actually, no. The guy in front of you, 12 will hit. So 4. Okay. Anything else from you?
I think I'm going to stay here in order to try to protect him.
Okay. Tower. What you going to do?
First, I'm going to see if my webbing's reactivated. 6. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna do a bite attack again on the big guy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay.
That will hit for 9 points of piercing damage. The big guy is now looking very heavily injured, and he must make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
13, which he succeeds. So
Okay.
he takes half damage, 3, half down to 1.
Okay.
Okay.
A lot for bloody. What was that? 2 and 1. Damn.
Anything else?
Can I? I want to sort of start crawling down the side of the wall.
Okay.
Sort of. I'm still on the side wall now.
Mm-hmm. Right, Averine.
I'll firebolt the big guy.
Okay. Misses. Too many people in the way.
Concern it! That's it.
Carmen.
I am going to run in with half my movement and try not to stand on Shargo, but be on the same square. And I'm going to do an attack with my rapier on the guy in front of me.
Okay. Strike out at the ghoul. That will cleave straight through him.
You take his head off.
His head is still intact to his body, so you can collect it in a bit if you wish.
Lovely.
It didn't automatically take his head off.
No worries. Okey-doke. That's good.
Anything else from you, Carmen?
Yeah, I'm going to use the rest of my movement to get out of the way.
Okay. Aloando. Anything from Aloando?
Can Averine have used her movement also to be fleeing from the mist?
Oh, yes.
I can't tell if it's still moving or not. And Alawando will... I can't get close enough without going through the mist. So Alawando will also fall back.
Okay. Gregory will do the same thing, falling back. He will shoot Eldritch Blast at the big guy. Which a nice, powerful hit will snap the neck of the ghoul as its head spins right around,
Nice.
killing the big guy. Greco, what you gonna do?
Right, I'm gonna move. Is there any spot I can get to get a flank with this against this guy without
Okay.
provoking an attack?
Yeah, you just walk around him. There's
Okay.
only one creature.
Just making sure, and I'm gonna just smack him with the long sword.
It's technically
Hopefully.
the floor is covered with grease.
Oh, then I will
Dexterity
slide
saving
there.
throw.
And just hit him there. Yeah,
A 13 will hit.
cool.
Go ahead and roll the
Oh,
damage.
the damage did not auto roll. Sorry.
Purposely fall over and do a shell spin attack.
Yeah, it was very graceful. +2, so 7.
7. All right, that will hurt it a lot, but not quite kill it.
Ugh, jerk.
All right, anything else from you, Greco?
No.
Okay, that last ghoul is going to have an opportunity. It's going to claw at Zola.
I'm gonna
Nice.
use my reaction to Impose disadvantage.
Okay. Then that makes it a 7 to hit, so that will miss.
Great.
Top of the round, mists shift another 35 foot. There.
Oh.
I need Constitution saving throw from Aloando, Gregory, and Averine.
I will use luck.
Did not lucky enough.
I have a mad pseudo dragon.
Okay. Gregory is going to use his Favorite of the Gods ability to add 2d4 to his save, so he has a 15. Averine, you using the 13.
Yeah.
And the pseudo dragon got 10. So Averine and Gregory are fine. The pseudo dragon gets a version of madness. So I need the pseudo dragon to roll 1d100. 0.
Oh. I rolled 1d00.
0. Quick enough. Okay. So with a 91. Oh, well, fair enough. The character loses the ability to speak. As a pseudo dragon, I don't think it's going to drive it mad that it can't speak, but it shouldn't normally be able to speak, but it thinks it should be able to speak, so it's just going to freak out. All right. That will also not manifest for the next 3 hours. All right, Shargo. He was paralyzed again.
Steven, do you have to get going?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
If this is just going to be like one more round, then I can stick through to the end of the combat, but
Yeah,
I'm going to have to duck out.
literally just one more round. Shargo saves from that. Zola. If you hit, you get the finisher.
No pressure.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you want to kill this last ghoul?
Let's turn him into a Pez dispenser.
Whew. What is he dispensing?
Blood. Black
Then-
ichor.
The blade cuts straight through, and with the limited light that you've gotten here, begins to just spray all over you, just in a massive heap. The ghoul is dead. As you all lick your wounds and desperately run away from the mad monkey fever. Fog,
Grab my crossbow.
grabbing your hand crossbow.
So if we're desperately running away, are we running deeper into the mines?
No, because this whole area is actually now filled with the fog. So you need to run back and run quicker than 35 feet per turn.
Well, if we run twice a turn, then we're good.
We're already in it. Hold your breath. We gotta get these heads.
Oh, I should have held breath because turtles can hold their breath for like an hour.
There we go. And with that, we will continue this adventure this time next week. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Once again, we would like to thank you all, everyone who has followed us, or particularly those who subscribe to our channel. Those things do help us out a lot. If you liked what you saw, please join us next week and invite your friends to join us as well. Now, a reminder, during the week you can read along with the in-character roleplay chat that takes place via Discord. It may, this week, involve a spot of madness. You can gain access to that and more by supporting the stream over on our Patreon page. That is patreon.com/Teovanth. The link is in all the places that links go. Description, text, and all of that. Follow us on Twitter, please. We are at Crituitous RP, and follow our Tumblr, crituitousrp.tumblr.com. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Bye.